No.
Think with the doctor. Yes, he's got it. He carries down. Way back the baby to sleep.
Until morning. Ewing.
Oh, wow.
He's going to try to get one more shot off the end. Push the ball's there.
How about that?
Steps over Tyronn Lue. He's got about three. He'll put up a three.
Welcome to the NBA Draft. We are live on Boom Broadcasting, and we're so excited we get to spend the evening with you all. And I am not alone. The NBA Draft is tonight, and I got some fellow friends with me. I'll introduce in a moment. But while we are doing the NBA Draft coverage, we are also going to be making some groundbreaking news on Boom Broadcasting's YouTube channel, so you'll want to stay tuned throughout the duration of this coverage. But again, I'm not alone. I kind of stole his intro for tonight because it's basketball themed, and he kind of owes me. But we got the host of Three from Deep, Mr. NY himself, Jason Colenso, in the house. We have the host of Hoops and Helmets alongside Aaron. We have fellow Duke fan Carson Williams. And then we also will have podcast _Smitty, and we'll adjust that a little bit. You know, Shannon's a little small. He's used to being small. But guys, we are super excited for what's to come tonight with the NBA draft, and this is huge. I believe that AJ DeBonsa is going to go number one. I dropped my mock lottery last night, but everything starts to kick off at number two. What are your big surprises? And maybe like 30 to 60 seconds, what are your big surprises and looking out for with the NBA draft tonight? Carson, I'll start with you.
Yeah, well, the main thing I'm looking for is the small guards. I think this is going to be a super interesting thing, especially in this draft, because we have a lot of them. Flemings, and none more than Darius Acuff Jr. I couldn't remember his name for some reason, but we've got these small guards, and it's interesting because I've kind of been out on the small guards, and then Jason's Jalen Brunson goes ahead and wins the NBA championship. So, and he's like the prototypical small guard, bad defender. So, I'm just interested to see if that has, if that's kind of changed the outlooks for any of these GMs or anything. So that's what I'm really looking out for.
Shannon, what are you looking out for tonight during the NBA draft?
I'm looking at two things right now. First things first, I want to see if my Bulls don't blow it. That's what I'm looking at the most. I hope they don't. If Caleb's around there, get Caleb. If Caleb's not around, get my man from Arkansas. I like him. He's a beast. But the second thing I want to look at as well, too, is where Nate Emmett is going to go. That young man can ball. 6'9", very long arms. I think that he might be a surprise and go further. Now, he's projected number 9, but I think he may go to that 7 or that 6. He's a freshman. I get it. Good size, good mind, crashes the ball real well, gets the basket good, has a good mid-range, can shoot the ball very, very well. I think he'll be surprising. Now, I'm hoping whoever gets him, they got a baller on their hands. But this is a big draft. This draft looks great. I'm looking forward to seeing who goes where. This is going to be fun.
This is going to be a blast. And if you guys saw my mock lottery, I made a strong case for Shannon's Chicago Bulls to take that kid from Arkansas, Darius Acuff. He's been dubbed as perhaps the best player that John Calipari has ever coached. And if you look who just won the MVP this year in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you should know why. You should probably take Darius Acuff even over Darryn Peterson. Now, somebody who talked a lot about SGA on his podcast this year was Jason, and watching the NBA very deeply. Jason, what are you looking out for in this draft? And was I out of pocket yesterday for taking Acuff over Peterson?
Not at all. I really love it. And I told you yesterday, and I sent you a message that I think Acuff's going to be Rookie of the Year this year. I think he's really going to be kind of the steal of the draft. A couple of things I'm looking for here. First, this is the deepest draft we've had in a very, very long time. It was so deep that the NBA had to instill anti-tanking rules. I mean, that's how deep this draft was. You actually moved the NBA needle. So this is going to be very interesting. Are we going to see any trades? Because a lot of times draft night, especially in the NBA, you don't see a lot of trades. But because this draft is so deep, and with Jaylen Brown out there, a lot of a Kawhi Leonard, so a lot of teams wanting to make moves, especially after the Giannis Antetokounmpo bombshell. So there's a lot of teams panicking out there. So I'm really watching to see, are we going to see some teams making moves because this is such a deep draft? And then I want to see what my New York Knicks are going to do. Are they going to take that draft pick? Are they going to trade it away? Or are they going to keep it? Because, they're trying to kind of keep this championship team together, which they have some decisions to make, with Mitchell Robinson and Landry Shamet. So are they going to trade that pick away, save some money towards next year so they can re-sign some guys, or are they going to keep that pick? So, I mean, there's a lot of interesting things the Knicks have that can do in this later first round. But I'm really curious to see if we're going to see any NBA teams making some moves, making some trades during this draft.
And there was a huge trade to the Miami Heat. Giannis Antetokounmpo is finally a member of the Miami Heat.
I got your flowers for you there, Mr. Michael Davis. So, I mean, I know you're besides me, my New York Knicks winning, you're kind of the second most excited person on Boom now, because you guys have won the Giannis sweepstakes. We talked about it all year. I had Freak Watch on 3 from Deep. So congratulations, Mr. Michael Davis. You guys won the Giannis sweepstakes. So, I mean, Pat Riley, good job.
Jason, the Cavs won the NBA Finals analytically in 5 games. So I don't know why you're saying I'm not
that was
excited.
The Eastern Conference Finals they won analytically. Actually, the Spurs analytically beat the New York Knicks and won the championship because they literally led in every game by double-digit points. So, but that's a whole nother thing is you play 4 quarters. Who's the champions right now? Knicks in 5, baby.
Kenny Atkinson ought to be ashamed of himself for saying that. That was why.
Still got a job.
Hey,
and he still has a job.
It could very well be Miami in the NBA Finals in a year or two.
No,
but Jason, we'll cover Giannis. Don't you worry. We'll cover Giannis as part of our Boom broadcasting content. But you referenced other trades. The Boston Celtics were trying to trade away Jaylen Brown and a couple first-round picks to get Giannis, and were unsuccessful to do so. But apparently they are still shopping Jaylen Brown. Shannon, I'll drop this to you first. Do you see a team potentially in the lottery saying, hey, I know this is a deep class, but Jaylen Brown's proven if we can get a first-round pick as well in a later year, do you think a team moves off their lottery pick to go get Jaylen Brown?
I don't think so. To me, looking at everyone that's drafting right now, I'm not saying that Jaylen Brown is unproven, but I am saying that this draft right here is really hard to come by. And when it comes down to building and going from scratch, because looking at some of these teams, Utah Jazz, looking at my Chicago Bulls, looking at these teams right here, I don't think that they have the interest in getting a player like that. I think that Jaylen Brown would probably be going to a team that maybe I would throw it out there and dare say a Houston Rockets squad. Maybe.
Look closer to home. Tell me he wouldn't fit on that team.
I get it.
That Charlotte Hornets team. That Charlotte Hornets team.
He really would, and that would be scary, to be honest with you. That would be scary. If
you put a veteran like that. Look, he was all NBA this year. I mean, come on. We talked about him in the MVP conversation. Jaylen Brown, because he's acting a little squirrely on the internet, and he doesn't like the Boston Celtics right now. But you put him with the Charlotte Hornets and that young squad. Oof.
Yeah, but you probably have to move off a guy like Knipple or Brandon Miller to bring Jaylen Brown in.
Miller, I would. Knipple, I wouldn't do that, but Miller, I would throw a bunch of picks.
No,
untouchable.
Hey, come on, Brandon Miller is what? He's got to be what, 21 or so, 22. Like
third year in the league, right?
He's so young. He's still improving. He's already a better shooter than Brown. He. Like already a better shooter, especially from three. That's like Jaylen Brown's one big flaw is that he's not a great shooter.
Yeah, but that's what you have Knipple for. I mean, you throw him on the outside, Jaylen Brown facilitate.
But no, it's because of that's how the whole Hornets offense operates. It's all about these pick and rolls with even double or sometimes even triple pick and rolls with LaMelo as the ball handler, and you have these two elite shooters, and you make the defense pick who they're going to guard, and they can't guard everybody. So that's like the entire premise around Charlotte's offense. So, I think that Jaylen Brown would kind of be a ball stopper in that scenario. I don't really like him to the Hornets, but I'm not really a big Jaylen Brown fan in general. So I don't know. I would, if I was any lottery team, I wouldn't move off of him. It's just like what Shannon said, this draft is insane. Even down to like pick 16 and 17, you're looking at guys who can be franchise altering, like Yaxel Lindenborg, who I've seen like mocked at 14th, I think is a top 10 guy. If he goes 14th, like that is a steal. That's a franchise altering move. This draft is too deep to especially. I mean, a guy like Jaylen, I would just say. Mm-mm.
Well, Carson, I think Yaxel Lindenborg is somebody to watch, as well as the big three from Michigan and their national championship team: Ademara, Morez Johnson, and Dusty May just became the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. We talked about this last night on Out of Pocket Live that I do not expect Lindenborg to go anywhere below the Mavs at 9 because that's your dude to pair next to Cooper Flag, unfortunately. But Miami doesn't have a pick this year, so I'm okay with it. I'm okay if they pair.
You guys got yours. You're good. You just enjoy.
Maybe they trade Bam for a pick. That's what they should really do. Is they should trade Bam. The Bam Giannis fit is so bad.
That's a defensive like juggernaut right there down low. They need guards. They need some shooters. I know they're going to go out there and try to find somebody. I know there's been whispers in the wind about maybe Clay coming over to South Beach. So they definitely need some shooters. But you put Bam and a healthy Giannis Antetokounmpo, top 5 in the world. Giannis Antetokounmpo on that Heat team. Look, it doesn't scare me on the New York Knicks. In fact, I appreciate him going to the Heat. I think he would have scared the Knicks more if he went to the Celtics. So thank you, Miami, for getting him, because I think it's going to take a couple of years for them to navigate free agents and some other guys to get shooters, to get somebody to facilitate and get them the ball. Because Giannis is not a ball handler. Neither is Bam. So they need somebody to handle the rock. So,
I just think that offense is going to be so gross. Like, it's not going to be fun to watch. That defense, you're absolutely right, is going to be stifling. But even then, they don't have like an A1 rim protector. Like, that's Bam's big flaw, is that he's not a great rim protector. So, and yes, used to be, like, if you go back to 2021, 2022, whenever they won the championship, but he has regressed since then, and he's got these injury issues. I think you should probably prioritize offense. So look, I know I'm kind of lower on Bam than consensus just because I don't like a big who can't really protect the rim. And
Carson, he scored 83.
He can occasionally
he scored 83
points. Okay, he can occasionally score 80 points.
It was mostly free throws.
He
It
scored
was against the
83.
it was against the Wizards.
83 is 83.
83 is 83. I agree, but still,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's still no
nobody's
joke.
nobody's gonna sit here and argue that he's a good offensive player because he's just not. Like, yeah, he scored 83, and it was the flukiest game. He still did it, but nobody's gonna sit here and argue that he's a good offensive player.
He's a
just
poor
not.
man's Karl Anthony Towns. He can get you a double-double.
Even worse.
He can get you a double-double, but I think you pair him with Giannis, a healthy Giannis. I think that's going to free him up, and I think he's going to score more. He can be a 20-10 guy. I mean, what else do you need?
One of
20
them
points, 10 rebounds. Dude, that's like a stud.
One of
And
them
here's
needs
the
to
commissioner.
expand their game out to, say, the free throw line. You know, if
Yeah.
if they can hit that free throw line shot, then that'll be good.
Yeah, and just to update, Jason kind of mentioned it, that the commissioner is at the podium. We are about to start the NBA draft. We are giving you live coverage throughout here on the Boom Broadcasting YouTube channel. Feel free to share with your friends. Feel free to come in the comments with us. We'd love to hear your opinions as the draft begins. Wanted to get a few things underway before we started, but this is huge. The Washington Wizards are about to be officially on the clock, and this is where you'll be able to find your most up-to-date content and just genuine analysis. This isn't a show. I heard somebody on ESPN earlier this evening say that the NBA hasn't been this interesting since the Warriors and Cavs, and she was wrong.
Stop.
She was wrong. I
Stop.
heard that, and I was like, "You got your job? How?" I was shocked. I was shocked. I'm like, so this is the most exciting time for NBA. There's parity. There's been 8 different champions in the last 8 years, and we are not in the Warriors Cavs. Just forget about the regular season. So right now, the Washington Wizards are officially on the clock, and I believe this is AJ DeBonsa, even though he probably wanted to stay in Utah and play basketball. But
Yeah, no doubt. Easy pick.
Carson, you agree that DeBonsa's the pick?
Yes.
I would say he's the pick, yeah. I think he fits probably the best. Maybe I kind of do like Cameron Boozer here, but I think AJ DeBonsa is just the best player. I think they're all in a tier together, him, Peterson, and Boozer, but I do think he stands above the rest. So yeah, I would pick him. I think he fits really, really well with Trey too. So I like him in Washington.
Okay. We got right now we have Trey Young and Anthony Davis, who are going to be kind of the core for Washington, but they're a little older, and they'll all signs indicate AJ DeBonsa is going to be on the Wizards. Jason, I'm not going to lie, the East is kind of weak. Do you think the Wizards can turn this around, or do you see this happening in just a few years?
Well, don't fault the East just because of the Washington Wizards, please. Don't lump us into that. So, there's about 10, 12 teams out there that don't want to be lumped into that. Listen, this is a league where you talked about it, parity. We've had 8 different champions in 8 years. You can go from worst to first pretty quickly in this NBA, and even not worst to first, but if you look like at the Detroit Pistons, who were last place 3 years ago, enter JB Bickerstaff, Cade Cunningham becomes an MVP candidate. Next thing you know, they're in the playoffs. Then the year after that, they're in first place in the East. So if anybody could, make a charge here, it's the Washington Wizards. Just knock on wood. If these guys stay healthy with Trey Young and Anthony Davis, and then you get that first round pick, they got SARS. They got a nice young squad there. So I could see the Wizards really making some noise and at least getting into playoff consideration. I don't see them really going and winning anything, but at least getting to the playoffs and making people excited about Washington Wizards basketball again, because nobody has been excited about Washington Wizards basketball even before John Wall got there. I would say go back to Michael Jordan when he joined the Wizards. That's about how far back the Washington Wizards have been just trash. It has been a poorly managed organization, their ownership suspect, trying to move the team, etc. So there's a lot of things behind the scenes that I don't like about the Wizards. But I think this is a no-brainer with AJ. You get him in there. You get him with Anthony Davis. When he's healthy, he's a top 10 player in the NBA. So fingers crossed, Mr. Glass. Hopefully he can stay healthy. But I think the Washington Wizards with this pick and the way they're navigating their squad, I think they can make the playoffs next year. I can see them about making it maybe the 7th or 8th seed play in, or even ahead of the play-in. It just kind of depends on what teams ahead of them fall back. They can catch up here, and I think with parity in the NBA, it's not crazy to say that.
Well, I think with the Wizards, it would probably be, if DeBonsa's the pick, it'd be Trae Young at the 1, DeBonsa at the 3, Davis when he's healthy at the 4, so about 8 games, and then Alex Sarr at 5. And then you'd have to figure out who you want at shooting guard. But I don't know, Trae Young, Anthony Davis, their health isn't entirely reliable. Carson, are you scared as a Cavaliers fan of what the Wizards could be?
Maybe a little bit. I mean, not this season necessarily. I think the Cavs are still going to be a very good regular season team. Hopefully, James Harden is off the team by the trade deadline, and we can get somebody else in. Maybe we trade him tonight. That would be awesome. But yeah, I'm not super worried. I mean, I think AJ DeBonsa is a really, really great player to build around, but Anthony Davis's health is always a concern. And then I don't know, that lineup is a little funky to me because you have AD, who has said many, many times he does not want to play, or I'm sorry, he does want to play the 4 actually, but he's so much better as the 5. And especially like with all his injuries and stuff, and he can't move like he used to, and he's not as good of a shooter as he was in that, Lakers 2020 title run. So I don't really know. I just want to know what happens to Anthony Davis with Anthony Davis, because I think that he kind of puts a cap on this team, and until he's gone, either that or he moves to the bench, that they're just not going to be able to get over, like where Jason said, that like 7, 8. I could see them maybe making a push for like the 6th seed, but I really doubt that they would crack the top half of the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, and Aaron wishing he could come on. Honestly, bro, come on. Who needs work? And the Wizards aren't making noise this year, but they are making noise at the podium. Adam Silver with the official word, and we are welcoming our new Washington Wizard, AJ DeBonsa, the forward from BYU. Shannon, DeBonsa changed the complexion of BYU, and I mentioned this last night on Out of Pocket, is you see all these guys like a Cameron Boozer or Caleb Wilson go to these blue blood schools, Darryn Peterson, and they like just join in the culture. But AJ DeBonsa was really BYU basketball this year. And if you are a bottom feeding team like Washington, you can't choose anybody better.
He's NBA ready. Checks the most boxes. But I sent it to you yesterday. I couldn't believe you couldn't remember Jimmer Fredette from BYU, man. Come on, Jimmer. I think he's still playing in China somewhere. But Jason, man, BYU basketball, baby.
There's a reason I didn't kick it to you, Jason, because I knew you were going to bring up Jimmer. Shannon,
I gotta
help
give
me
Jimmer
out
a
here.
shout out.
Nah, but AJ DeBonsa was the reason why you watched BYU. I mean, he was the reason. He was the team. And I'm just like, man, watching him play, great ball player, worth the hype. Dude is incredible. Seen him play a lot last year, wowed by the way he played. If Washington didn't make this pick, I would still stand by what I said yesterday with the Washington Mystics being better than the Washington Wizards. I mean, I would stand by that because, no, you don't pass up on somebody like him. I don't care what happens with him. He, out of everybody in this draft class, and there's a lot of great players, he's the one that's going to be the headliner, and that's who I felt was the headliner of this draft. They would have been cursed and talked bad about if they didn't pick AJ Bansa. That man can ball. So good job, good pick, Washington. You didn't blow it.
They didn't blow it, and Aaron bringing out Caleb Wilson out of nowhere. Operation Find Tar Heel will give him a contract. Okay,
Oh, he's
so here, you think he's next? You think he
No,
goes
I mean
number 2
he's
to
coming
Utah?
up. He's coming up next. No, he's coming next. He won't be 2. I don't think he's going
He
to
won't
the
be
Jazz.
2.
I don't think the Jazz will take him.
That's going to be interesting to see.
He's
Like,
the Bulls.
what do the Jazz do? Do they go for Peterson, who's already said he doesn't want to play there?
Yeah,
Right.
this is where the draft really starts, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we all knew it was going to be Devonta 1, but now this is where everybody knows it's either Boozer or Peterson, but that's the question, right? Boozer or Peterson?
And
Booze.
Shan, why do you say Boozer?
With him being a good compliment to Jaren Jackson Jr. in that front court, I think that would be good for them because 3J is a very good defender and glass clearer. I think that Cameron Boozer will be a compliment to him on the offensive side of the ball. I think that he can defend. He can defend good, but the Jazz need to score, and they got to score. They got to score in the front court. I think that Cameron Boozer will probably be their best one. Boozer will probably be their best. Peterson, despite the fact he doesn't want to play for the Jazz, I think they can settle for the backcourt in the next draft. In the next round. So I think they'll be fine when it comes down to that. But in the front court, build your front court with someone like Cameron Boozer and handle biz.
Okay.
I kind of have the complete opposite thinking of you, Shannon. I think that the 2 guard is really what they need right now. I mean, they have Jaren Jackson Jr. They have Walker Kessler. They even have like Kyle Filipowski, Lauri Markkanen, even like a Kevin Love. I'm a Cavs fan, so obviously I love Kevin Love. But their front court is pretty stacked. What they really need is somebody who can put the ball in their hands and put it on the floor and make good decisions and put it in the basket from the perimeter. In my opinion, they have Ace Bailey, but Ace Bailey is more of like a movement shooter type of MPJ type of player to me. So, I think as much as, I do have questions on Darryn Peterson's kind of basketball drive, but and I do like Boozer more than him, but I just think Peterson is kind of the perfect fit here, and this is the one spot, in my opinion, where Boozer doesn't really fit that well.
Mr. Davis, I want to throw you a question. Do you think it is appropriate for these essentially kids to dictate where they want to go? So, do you think it was smart of him, and this has happened. This happened with Ace Bailey last year. Didn't want to play for the Jazz. They ended up taking him anyways. Do you think these kids should have the right to kind of control their own destiny if he doesn't want to play with somebody? It's his right to say so, but do you think that's out of pocket?
Yeah, it was kind of out of pocket, but at the end of the day, you get drafted. It's just like the military draft. If you get drafted, you're going, right? You're in the United States. So, I totally I feel like Darryn Peterson hurt himself, honestly, by doing that. And that's why I mocked him going 5 to the Clippers. I think he was a lock for top 4 pick. And now I think he goes 5. I feel like Cameron Boozer can be the pick here. And, we still have Caleb Wilson. We have Darius Acuff. And there's so much talent to where if we didn't have this talent, then Darryn Peterson would probably go 2. But here's the commish to prove me right that Darryn Peterson does not go here to the Utah Jazz. We'll get that right here to you.
Yeah, I think he's going.
And it is Darryn Peterson. The Jazz took a guy who doesn't want to be with them, and this is where they get the draft wrong. Carson, this was a terrible pick. I'm sorry.
I just can't agree with you. Look, and Darryn Peterson is by far, other than Cameron Boozer, he is the best talent. Even more than a Darius Acuff, even more than a Phylon or a Macau Brown or any of those guys. Darryn Peterson is a guy who you like hand the keys to your offense, hand the keys to your team, and you say, go win us some games. He doesn't look all that excited, and and he doesn't want to be there, but I don't think he's going to pull an Eli Manning here or anything like that. I think he's going to go to Jazz, and I think he's going to be a good player, and I think he's going to be a good fit. And I like what the Jazz are building here. If they can get Darryn Peterson on board, I like what they're building.
And which doesn't make any sense because they got a great history. You look at John Stockton, Karl Malone, Darius, Mitchell went there. So I mean, they have a history. So it's not like they're a floundering franchise. They just need someone that want to go there, ball out, and make them relevant again.
But what do you do, Utah? Utah is boring. It's a small market. These players want to play big lights and flashing lights, Mr. New York there, sir.
Hey, listen, championships create lights. So, I mean, if you want bright lights, win.
I get it.
The lights will come.
Really do.
The lights will come. And look, especially when you're playing, this is your job, NBA basketball. Yeah, Utah's not that exciting, but that's perfect. Throughout the season, you put your head down, you play ball. When the season's over, you can have a house wherever the heck you want. You can go fly wherever the heck you want. So, don't give me that, there's nothing to do in Utah. Look,
but that's what you're going to
hear. Focus on playing basketball and learn your craft. And then when the championships come, then you can do whatever you want. But, yeah, it's
I'm not saying I agree with him, but that's all you're going to hear is, nothing's going on in Utah and all this. But you're right. It is the perfect storm. And I think Darryn Peterson can strike while the iron's hot because the man can ball, and this squad can build off of him in the back. It's not a bad pick there, Mike. I mean, it's not a bad pick.
He just didn't pick. He didn't want it. I don't get it too. Why would you want somebody that doesn't want to play with you?
Yeah.
It's a fair point, but I mean, the kid can ball. And they got to be able to talk to him. That's one of the things. You got to be able to sell them. You got to sell it yourself to this kid.
And
so,
Shannon,
hey, look, we can do it.
Shan, here was my hesitation with this is because you want somebody at this point in the draft to rally the rest of your teammates. But if he is openly saying, I don't want to be here, then what are you doing? By the way, Chris DeLuca, host of Dugout Debrief, Close Mike Shan, back from their Stanley Cup show. They did a great job doing the Stanley Cup recap for quick hits after the Carolina Hurricanes won the chip. And back-to-back Big 12 guys at 1-2. Yep, you're definitely beating our ACC right now, but we're about to get the next two at 3 and 4. I'm assuming Memphis's pick is already in. And
yeah, because that's a no-brainer. Boozer, let's go.
Yeah. It's a no-brainer.
Booze with Ja. I mean, and then that's another one too with these Grizzlies. Man, they are just all in with Ja Morant. I am very shocked that he has not been on the move or even talked about as far as in trade bait here. We have not heard anything from the Grizzlies about.
Well, he's probably a pretty hard guy to trade too. I mean, I don't really think that there's a huge market, but I think that if there's one guy who can make him work, it's Cameron Boozer. With all the connective stuff he does, he's a great offensive rebounder. He can space the floor. I think he is probably. This is like the perfect fit, especially with these three within the top three with Washington, Utah, and now Memphis. Memphis is the perfect fit for him.
Yeah, and one thing that I want to note, the Grizzlies pick is in, and we're expecting it to be Boozer, but who knows? Darryn Peterson might not stay there. Jaylen Brown's floating around. Honestly, I would go Jaylen Brown over Darryn Peterson. Jason,
no.
You want to exile Jaylen Brown to the Jazz? I mean, that'd be a perfect way to shut him up on the internet. Hey, Jaylen, we're going to send you back into Utah.
That's because he would have no Wi-Fi.
Utah's not going to give that up. Jaylen Brown's going to have to sign a mega contract. I think in the next 2 years or so, he's going to make $60-70 million a year. Pay your rookie a fraction of that and utilize him to get over the hump. Trading for Jaylen Brown, he is a piece that maybe you add to a team that is already kind of set, and that he can be that push to go to, like, you put Brown maybe with the Nuggets with a Nikola Jokic and that kind of vibe there, or don't be surprised to see the Lakers, because no one's been talking about the Lakers. The Lakers need
That would be a good
to
spot.
make a
Really?
splash this year. But if I don't think the Celtics would want to trade with the Los Angeles Lakers, but they need to do something to get Luka some help, because right now Luka's like, get me a squad.
So Jason,
I don't see that happening.
Jason, don't want to interrupt you, but the Memphis Grizzlies officially selected Cameron Boozer, the forward from Duke, at number 3 overall. This is really good, especially if resident Tar Heel fans podcast me saying it's smart. Why do you say so?
They need the front court help. I mean, now with them trading away Jaren Jackson Jr., they need that front court help. So this was a no-brainer. As soon as Peterson left off the board, it was, you get Cam. Is Cam Boozer a bust? Smart move. I like his front court offense. I love what he does in the front court. He can stretch the floor, shooting the three, and he can defend. Like, he's an underrated defender, I believe. I think he can defend well. It's going to be tough, but yes.
It's kind of like a Jaren Jackson Jr. replacement almost, right? They're pretty similar players. Now, obviously, they have some differences. I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is a way better defender. I do think Cameron Boozer is a underrated defender, but Jaren Jackson Jr. is like all defense, and I don't think Cameron Boozer is going to be that. But Cameron Boozer is the much better offensive player. The similarities they have, though, like, they're both very good on the offensive glass. They're both very good mismatch attackers. They're both going to be good in transition. But Cameron Boozer is a way, way better passer. And that, to me, is like his big selling point, is his connective passing and how he can play in the pick and roll. He's also less ball dominant than Jaren Jackson Jr., which is going to be good for Ja Morant. So I think that this is a good pick, but it kind of is. It's like, in my opinion, it's a Jaren Jackson Jr. replacement, but it's an upgrade. So I think this is a great pick.
And I think he's going to develop into a better defender. You got to remember, these kids are coming out of college, where the defense in college is not like the priority unless you're 7 foot something and that's your shtick as being a defender. So I think he can develop into it. And I just want to ask the panel a question: is we had last year we had a former NBA star's son go in the draft, who showed out during the playoffs here for them San Antonio Spurs. Do you think there's something with the former player vibe? Mr. Boozer, of course, his dad playing in the NBA. Do you think there's a little extra to that when they come into the league? They, like, their dads kind of taught them a little bit more.
Definitely.
Do you think they're a little more league ready compared to a regular kid coming out of college?
I would say definitely.
Yeah, Bronny James is doing great for the Los Angeles.
That doesn't count.
He has gotten he was a 56th pick, 55th pick, and he actually got decent playoff minutes. So that is a win. That's a massive win for a pick that low. But to answer your question, Jason, I would say absolutely, especially these NBA players who are like smart. They made their living in the NBA off of their IQ. Ron Harper was a defensive mastermind.
Dylan Harper was ridiculous. Yeah.
And now Dylan Harper is so great. And Carlos Boozer, one of my favorite NBA players ever, undersized but strong and just smart, and he understood the game and he understood how to use his body, and you can see that in Cameron Boozer in the way he plays. So I would say absolutely. I think having an NBA father or just a parent even who doesn't have to be father, it could be mother as well, who has played at a higher level of basketball, that's a massive, absolutely massive advantage.
And right now, as Boozer is going to Memphis at 3, the Chicago Bulls are on the clock. And Shannon, as much as you love Cameron Boozer, you might be getting your own Tar Heel up in Chicago with Caleb Wilson falling to you guys. I'd be so disappointed if you guys didn't pick him. But Darius Acuff should also
get some respect here, who would you prefer as a Chicago fan?
It's got to be Caleb, and no, the homer is not coming out. But Caleb was dynamic this year with the Tar Heels taking away from the team, and look what happened. You see how the team pretty much derailed. Caleb can play very, very well, stretching the floor, getting to the basket. I like him getting to the basket, being a slasher into the paint. I want him to develop a little more with mid-range. I know because him getting to the basket is one thing, and that's great. But you already know in the league, they want you to shoot the ball and be more of a prolific shooter. I like his ability getting to the basket. But also, too, I want to see him defensively. The better he will develop, and all this will develop. I'm just hoping that the Bulls stop being foolish in the front office, development-wise, and actually invest in this young man. That's what I want that out of him. D-Rose was one of our biggest guys that we drafted. The injuries did their thing to D-Rose, but they were still behind him, and that squad did develop. And now with Tiago Splitter being the coach now, we're with a new coach now. So this is going to be interesting. But you gotta go with Caleb in this one. Caleb Wilson, let's go.
And the pick is in. The commissioner is coming up and announcing the next jersey that Shannon will get, and that will be none other than Caleb Wilson from North Carolina. Shannon, congratulations! I know you're super excited. Jason, what are your thoughts on Caleb Wilson and his immediate impact in Chicago?
I think he's going to make an instant impact because they need something there. Chicago has been void of any kind of star since Derrick Rose. Zach LaVine a little bit, but other than that, they really need somebody polished. Caleb Wilson, especially going to North Carolina, I think he's NBA ready. I think he's going to get in there and make an instant impact. I love this pick for them, and I think the Bulls did really great. And you mentioned Tiago Splitter coming over from Portland, who did a phenomenal job with the Portland Trailblazers, literally taking that team that didn't belong in the playoffs. Nobody thought they thought they were going to be the worst team in the league after everything that went down. So the Bulls, you've done two things right so far this offseason. You got Tiago Splitter and you got your guy Caleb Wilson. So first team all ACC. You can't beat that. So great job, Bulls. That pains me to say that as a New York Knick, of course, but the Bulls have been so bad for so long. I'll give you a pass this time, but I definitely like the pick. It's a no-brainer, smart move, and I'm glad they did not trade or move off this pick either.
Well, and that's the worst part about the NBA draft is sometimes, you'll wait 20 minutes and somebody will trade off a pick, and they got to fix those rules with the league year and officially or unofficially starting. But Carson, I'm just glad we don't have to play this guy another year because he made quite the difference for a UNC team. When he wasn't on the floor, it was a completely different Tar Heel team.
Yeah, it was, and it's just because they didn't have a shot maker who just couldn't be stopped. That's what it was when Caleb Wilson was playing us. I was watching and just going, please miss, like make him miss because it didn't matter about the defense. Like we were playing him tight. We were playing him super, super well. We had one of the best defenders in the country on him. One of the best perimeter defenders in the country on him, right in his grill. Two of them, actually. Two of the best defenders in the country. And it didn't matter. He was just his craftiness, his footwork, his shot angles. It really didn't matter. So, yeah, I'm very glad we're not going to have to play him. Chicago got a guy here. I think that he could be the best player in the draft, depending, I don't think he has the highest floor. Or I don't think he has the highest ceiling, but if these other guys don't necessarily reach theirs, I could definitely see him being the best player in this draft. And I also think Chicago is a great place for him, not because he fits super well. Chicago really didn't have anything in place to fit around, but I just feel like he fits Chicago. Michael Jordan was a tough shot maker. Caleb Wilson is a tough shot maker, and he's just going to give the fans something to show up for, and that is what they've needed. Since Derrick Rose, they have needed a reason to show up, and I think they finally got it. So, Shannon, I'm happy for you, even as a Duke fan. You're muted, Mike.
I'm very glad. I was like, and even if they would have picked my man from still, how would you not pick Caleb, especially with the front court presence that the Bulls have not had this season? So, good move, smart move. Please, for the love of God, Chicago, build around this young man, please.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely an exciting time with the Chicago Bulls. Yeah, because they were obviously super excited with Michael Jordan, and I do want to note that the Los Angeles Clippers are the first team to take the entire duration of their pick, and the pick is in. I don't know where we're going. But
they probably had some guys on the phone trying to trade for that pick, because I know
I bet they
some
did.
people. Yeah, I bet you they had some offers. I know they were trying to move Kawhi Leonard too in there, so that's why I'm not surprised, and I would not be surprised to start seeing some movement here with these next 4, 5, 6 picks here to finish off the top 10, to start seeing more people start making those phone calls.
Yeah, I know I said the draft started at pick number 2. It basically went the exact way everybody was expecting. This is where the draft really starts, because now everything is on the table, right? I think Wagler is the right way to go, but if you go Acuff, cannot blame you there. If you go Braden Burries, I couldn't blame you there. Mikael Brown Jr., I couldn't blame you there. I mean, this is really where the draft opens up, and now there's just a bunch of different directions that you could go.
Yeah, very, very, very unique, different directions that you could go. Keaton Wagler is a potential pick. I would love Darius Acuff going to the Clippers. And here's the commissioner with pick number 5, the Los Angeles Clippers selecting Keaton Wagler from Illinois. He's good. He's a reason why the Illinois Fighting Illini were as good as they were, but Jason, I still think this should have been Darius Acuff. And Jason's muted as well. You've never sounded better.
Thank you. You're welcome, Clipper. This is surprising. I know. I want to say it. This is a New York thing. I think the guards, they got everybody scared now. So this is an interesting pick for the Clippers. I really liked Acuff too, man. I mean, we keep talking about him. I still think he's one of the best players in this draft. But yeah, this is an interesting pick from the Clippers. But the Clippers do some weird things here. So this may work out for them, but I don't know. I don't like the pick either. I'm shocked.
Wow.
A little bit.
I'm shocked by the two of you. I think this was the right pick. I understand Darius Acuff here. I think he is by far the best offensive player left on the board, but just think of that backcourt with Darius Acuff Jr. and Darius Garland. Those would be the two smallest guards in the league. Two terrible. I mean, they would just be terrible defensively. And I know that, yeah, you have Kawhi Leonard, but he can only do so much. So, and Zubac isn't there anymore. So, yeah, I just think that Keaton Wagler was the pick because you had to try to salvage that defense a little bit because it's already hard building a good team defense with Darius Garland, and I'm a Cavs fan, so I watched it. It's not an easy thing to do. Keaton Wagler still isn't the greatest defender, but definitely better than Darius Acuff. So I think this was the right pick.
Carson, no offense, I feel like I feel like in 6 years we're going to look back and be like, why did the Clippers clipper it up? And
6 years,
pass
give
on
it 2. Give it 2.
Shannon, this should have been a cuff, but how do you feel like Wagler will fit in LA?
I think this was a copycat pick, if you ask me. Want a smaller guy. I like the dude. Can ball. But no. Was not impressed. Not impressed at all. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a Jalen Brunson pick. Everybody wants that little guard now. Everybody's going to be trying to be prototypical now. Copycat league.
But you guys wanted him to pick. But you guys wanted the pick to be Darius Acuff. He's smaller. What do you? I don't understand.
He's better.
Yeah, but he's
better upside.
Well, he's
better upside.
He's
much
better, much better offensively, but way worse defensively. That would
this is NBA. They don't play defense. You don't got to worry about that.
That's not
especially
true.
As a guard.
Especially as a guard. That's just not true, and especially in the Western Conference, Jason. And you have an NBA podcast where you watch these guys, and I'm disappointed in you because that is not true. The Thunder have one of the best defenses probably the best defense since the 2004 Pistons, and the Spurs had an amazing historical team defense because of Wemby, yes, but their perimeter defense was still good.
And where are they all now?
Sitting.
And you know who else had a good team defense, Jason? The New York Knicks, because of OG Anunoby.
Had a great defense, but not Jalen Brunson doesn't play defense.
Bridges. Yes,
Jalen
Brunson doesn't play defense, but the guard beside him does. That's my entire point. The guard beside him does, and the Clippers already had a guard who doesn't play defense. You want to put him beside another guard who's even worse defensively and younger? Like it just. I think that you guys, I really understand. I understand the offensive upside. You watch him and you are wowed, and he's amazing. But defense is half of the game, and I don't want to hear any more of those no defensive narratives. I hear them from the guys at work who don't know basketball. I respect you as a basketball analyst, Jason, and I don't want to hear that.
Well, I mean, I want to say I'm not an analyst. I'm more of an instigator because I like to instigate you, man. I really do. I love getting you going here. It's so awesome, man. That's why I love having you on the show here too, because you get hot, and I love that stuff. So, thank you very much. But no, I mean, look, there's more to the NBA right now, and this is not the prototypical NBA. Look, points put people in the seats, and right now these teams want points. They worry about defense afterwards. Unless you are a prototypical defensive player, they're not worried about that. They want scorers. They want guys that can handle the rock. And right now, you know, these teams are looking for that. The New York Knicks have scared everybody, because even the San Antonio Spurs, look at what they have there coming off the bench there with Harper. I think he is going to be a starter next year. He is going to change the league. He's not a defensive player. I mean, you can't say Grand Theft Alvarado. Look, he comes off the bench and gives you a spark. He can get you some points. Yes, he is a defensive player, but that's his specialty. There's specialty players like that. When you're drafted in the first round in the top 10, you better be good at what you're supposed to do and be the best at it. And if he's a scorer, you better be the best scorer out there and worry about defense secondly.
All right, Jason, enough with your New York drops right here, but the other New York team, the Brooklyn Nets, are on the clock, and we have Adam Silver at the podium, and they passed on Darius Acuff.
Wow.
They take Michael Brown from Louisville, the guard.
Wow.
Shannon, he was hurt, and if he can stay healthy, he's very talented. But
wow,
I mean, even healthy, I would take Acuff over Brown. Am I dumb?
I would have had Acuff in this one. I was thinking that's where he was gonna go.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. I mean, it is the Brooklyn Nets, you guys.
But I thought they had something going. They just traded to get Randall back. He's back in New York. I mean, it looked like they were trying to make some moves. Yeah, this is a questionable pick here.
This might be the one we look at and say, why'd you do it?
Well, I do like Macau Brown. I think he's a very good player. I really liked watching him at Louisville, but I agree with you guys. This is where I would have put Darius Acuff, especially just I don't really think that the Nets have any sort of future, anything to build around necessarily. I'm not big on Julius Randle, so this is where I wanted them to do the Knicks treatment, right? With Darius Acuff, they get a small guard and you build the rest of the team defense around them, right? You say, hey, Darius Acuff, you be Jalen Brunson, you float the offense, and we're going to build a good team defense around you, and let's win games. But I don't know. I don't think that Macau Brown Jr. is as good of a starting point as Darius Acuff was.
And what Brown comes into Louisville is he's going to expected to be playing the two because they invested in Traore, they invested in Seraph in Brooklyn last year as first round draft picks, and I believe they also trade away Nick Claxton as well. If I'm understand that correctly, they do have Julius Randle, but I feel like you need more size. But I mean, best player available, I still think is Darius Acuff, and this is why the NBA draft. You see what players will go to different outlets, and the Sacramento Kings pick is apparently already in, and this could very well be Darius Acuff.
Oh, to the Kings.
And this would be bad because I know the Kings have to get younger at guard. They can't rely on DeMar DeRozan, but they trade away De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs, who made the NBA Finals. Jason, would this be a waste of a career if Acuff goes to Sacramento?
Yeah, it's worse than going to Utah. I mean, it's you talk about a team just with no identity, just almost like a dumping ground. This is where you go to get traded just to get traded away again. The Kings, the Sacramento Queens, as Mr. Shaquille O'Neal likes to call them. But yeah, I'm very disappointed if he does go. That made me look. He could turn it around. The Kings have some history, Chris Webber, Kings and Vlade Divac. I miss those days. There, Mike Bibby. Let's bring that back here. But
P. Stojakovic, don't forget.
Yeah, Pedro Stojakovic.
Pedro. Why did I say P?
Pedro Stojakovic. You got to throw that in there. But yeah, I mean, the Kings were relevant, a la Mike Brown, when he got them to the playoffs, and then of course was fired by the Kings. So 6 degrees of separation here. But yeah, that's the Kings are just not a very good organization, and I'm really surprised. If they take him, I don't want to say that's a death sentence, but he's going to have to do a lot to really shine in Sacramento, especially in the West.
I actually have kind of a different view on this. I think it's kind of similar to the Brooklyn Nets here, where he's going to a blank slate, right? There is nothing that the Kings have that they are trying to build around. Absolutely nothing, other than if they draft him, Darius Acuff. So they go there, they put all of their chips in on him, and once again, they give him the Jalen Brunson treatment. They say, you carry our offense, and we're going to put pieces around you who can defend. And obviously, he can't do it all by himself. They're going to have to get him some other guys. But, if they can get him beside a guy like OG Anunoby, like that's the dream. So I think that this is, it also just gives Kings fans a reason to watch, and they have been desperate for it. So.
And speaking of desperate, the commissioner is up at the podium as we desperately await to see who is the next Sacramento Kings.
So much for Acuff being Rookie of the Year. Damn it.
And there goes Darius Acuff. Shannon, as much as, Sacramento is where the Kings, of basketball actually go to die instead of being a real king and royalty in basketball, this was an obvious pick for Sacramento. Do you think the Lakers are going to still beat the Kings in May, as The Rock would say? We got Shannon on mute. I got you.
Yeah.
All right, technical difficulty. Well, Shannon.
Yeah, you muted me twice, so we were playing mute. We were going back. But yeah, the Lakers are gonna kill him. I mean, for real, they're gonna kill him, and it's because hopefully Sacramento has something up their sleeve when it comes down to building around this young guy. But as of right now, good for him for getting drafted. But yeah, sorry about that. But
he can prove him wrong, but man, yeah.
I hope
It's going to be a tough task. Tough task. I feel terrible for the Kings too because they got it at the exact worst time. I mean, this is a team that was actually trying to win games. They don't have their own draft picks, so they have no actual reason to lose games. They were trying to win, and they just couldn't. They weren't tanking, and yet they're getting screwed by these anti-tanking new rules. So yeah, I mean, they're just the worst team in the league. And now because of these new rules, it's going to be so much harder to build. So yeah, I feel really, really bad for Kings fans. I feel terrible for them, seriously.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and say this because Acuff has actually drawn comparisons to Jalen Brunson, and I don't know if that's because of the size, but I mean, Darius Acuff can put a team on his back offensively and just take over ball games, and that's what we saw from Jalen Brunson. And the difference is Jalen Brunson was a second-round pick, and he came to Luka's team. Darius Acuff, this is going to be his team. We've also seen a former Calipari guy go to the Kings before, and as much as they were in mediocrity, he was still able to put up great numbers in DeMarcus Cousins. I know very completely different players. But
De'Aaron Fox too was a Calipari guy, and they took the Warriors to 7. They lit the beam. So
I don't hate. I mean, Kings have to go best player available, and you'd be dumb to pass up on Acuff just like the Nets were, just like the Clippers were. I could still see Darius Acuff having a very solid NBA career. Jason, you might even be talking about him for Rookie of the Year. I wouldn't count him out.
I hope so. I like Domantas Sabonis, but there's been trade talks with him. There's been trade talks about Zach LaVine. It's just unfortunate. It's the Kings organization that I think I'm more disappointed in. I love Acuff. He could prove everybody wrong, but it's the Kings organization because they essentially grow players and then they trade them away. They're a dumping ground for players that get traded. They're always part of a 3-4 team trade because they take all the cast-offs. So they are essentially the bus station in the middle of nowhere of the NBA. So I'm hoping Acuff can change that and be the guy to light the beam, like you said, Derek Carson, and change the narrative around the Kings, because I do miss the Kings being relevant in the NBA. It's going to be a very, very tough task.
Yeah, and so we have Darius Acuff going to Sacramento. There's trade rumors surrounding Sabonis. Shannon, do you see Sabonis being on the move soon?
I would say so. If they're putting all their chips in on this young man, why not? I mean, I like Sabonis as well, too. I'm with Jason on that one. I like Domantas Sabonis. Love his father.
Arvydas Sabonis. I love him.
Bad dude. Jokic before Jokic with the skill-wise, but not the numbers. But, yeah, I would have to say if they're going in on Acuff, Domantas Sabonis might be one of those guys to get rid of. They got rid of De'Aaron Fox. They pretty much wiped the slate clean with De'Aaron Fox. I don't know if the Spurs get him back, but they might. But with all that being said, yeah, I think Sabonis will probably be going in this draft. Probably not, but maybe later on. Who knows?
Yeah, and that's a good point too. Like, not all trades happen on draft night. Sometimes they let the dust settle on what the NBA draft is, unless there is a guy you really want to go get and you've already been talking for quite some time. So we're here at number 8, and the Atlanta Hawks are on the board. Couple names to throw out here. I had Braden Burries in my mock last night going to the Hawks, but Kingston Flemings did not become a King. He's still on the board. Carson, where do you think Atlanta should lean? Should they go to replace Trae Young, or should they go big?
I really don't know. This is where I had Macau Brown Jr. I think he would have been a super good fit here. This is so interesting because it's exactly what I was talking about pre-draft with the small guards. It's like, was Jalen Brunson's championship really going to change the way that managers thought about small guards? And to this point, kind of no, right? Darius Acuff, who we're all here saying could be the best offensive player of this entire draft, went 7. And I mean, we were saying he could go 4, or most people had him going 5th. So I just don't know how GMs are really feeling about small guards. So that's why I'm gonna say Braden Burry's here. He is more of a shooting guard. He's, I believe, 6'4". I had him going to the Kings just because I thought that he's kind of a guy who's almost can't really fail, and that's kind of what the Kings need. Just a guy who can still be good, even with their organizational incompetence. But I think that Braden Burry's to the Hawks would be good. I like Kingston Flemings. He's just not a very good shooter. And the Hawks really need shooting. So I'm kind of leaning. I know I'm a lot higher on this guy than consensus, but I really like Phylon Jr. I think that this could be a good fit here. So maybe I would want to see Phylon Jr., but I'm expecting it to be Kingston Flemings.
I'm so glad you brought up Phylon Jr. I absolutely love him. I had him mocked to Miami when they had the pick at 13, but Adam Silver is going to make it official that the Atlanta Hawks are selecting Kingston Flemings, the guard from Houston.
That's a good pick.
Kingston Flemings is the pick for the Atlanta Hawks. He's going to replace Trae Young and try to build with this young core of Dyson Daniels, Ricochet, Jalen Johnson, who elevated his game. And once they trade away Trae Young, they got better. And Shannon, I don't think that's any joke what the Hawks were able to do after trading away Trae Young. How much of an impact do you see Kingston making right away as they continue to build?
They're going to have a young man that can shoot it. I like the way he shoots, good shooter. I think that he will spread the floor at that 2-guard position. So I like the pick. I was thinking that they would probably go with Nate Emmett. I was thinking they were going to go with them, but I think they need more help in the backcourt than they do the front court. So good move, Kingston Flemings. I like him.
Well, Jason, how do you feel this shapes up the Eastern Conference? Atlanta's been on the edge and been on the cusp of breaking into the playoffs. Is this the piece that gets them over the hump?
This is a very good piece. This makes me more nervous than about any of the other teams out there because, of course, as a New York Knicks fan, we lost, to the Atlanta Hawks, but thank you for waking us up. But this kid is aggressive, and I think that's one of the things with guard play is you want to see a guy that's not afraid to go to the hoop. I preach that all the time, that people fall in love with the 3 ball, and this guy goes towards the hoop. He does have a nice shot. He can shoot it if he needs to, but I think he's more aggressive when he's making plays and heading and either scoring the rock or passing it. So I think this is going to be a great pick for the Atlanta Hawks. They got a really nice young team there that I think can really make some noise in the Eastern Conference. I think that just made them a lot better. So I do like the pick. I think this team scares me out of everything else, all everybody's doing right now in the Eastern Conference. I think this Hawks team just became a little more dangerous.
And Carson, I believe Atlanta's starting to build a lanky team in Atlanta. I don't know if Fleming's defense is going to be up there, but again, when you have Dyson Daniels, he can guard some of the best perimeter scorers in the NBA. What do you make of the Fleming's pick? Was this worth it?
Yeah, I think it was worth it. I think it was a good pick. He kind of got, like I'm saying, I know I've said this multiple times now, but the Jalen Brunson treatment, right? He's going to be a negative defender, but he's got Dyson Daniels and Jalen Johnson and some more good defenders around him. So, yeah, I think it isn't going to be as big of a problem here as it would be in other places. So yeah, I think it's a good pick. Look, Atlanta either needed a guard or a big, and I think that the guard was the more pressing matter. And also they have a draft. I think they pick at 23rd as well. And I think you can find a quality big around there easier than you can find a quality guard. So yeah, I think this was the right pick.
And you mentioned Jalen Johnson. I know Cameron Boozer went earlier tonight at pick number 3 to Memphis. The Dallas Mavericks are now on the clock, and they have Cooper Flag. Man, there is a lot of our Duke Blue Devils here in the NBA, Carson.
Yes,
So I am very excited.
I think this is a Michigan pick right here. I think this is a Michigan pick.
I would agree that it's a Michigan pick. Dusty May, the new head coach of the Mavericks, as of 2 days ago.
Pick Nate.
Shannon doesn't think it's a Michigan guy.
Ade Mara. I think they go center.
Well, they will pick him, but they need to pick Nate.
So you have Derek Lively. I think the two options here are Morez Johnson, but I think it's Yaxel Lindenborg. I do not see Yaxel moving down because you need another scorer who you can rely on with Cooper Flag. And if they take Yaxel, I mean, this is the new Jalen and Jason in Boston, where they can grow up together and eventually win a championship. Shannon, I don't see Nate Ament going here just because of the Michigan ties.
I would love to see Nate in Dallas, but I think Yaxel's probably the guy they're going to go with. I don't think they need to go with their center, but I think they need to go with Yaxel. I think he'd be nice because they need that defense up front, but also Yaxel can clear the glass. I like what he does glass work wise. So I'm liking that. So, okay.
So what about Braden Burries? I think he's going to be the pick. From what I'm hearing, Dusty May's not going to have that much say on the draft pick. So I think that Braden Burries is the best fit here. That's who I would pick.
Carson, here's the selection of the Dallas Mavericks. And they took Morez Johnson, the forward from Michigan. Okay. Ooh. They passed on Yaxel Lindenborg.
Whoa.
Dusty May got his favorite Wolverine and showed that it was Morez Johnson.
Man.
So real quick with this one, Morez Johnson, I listened to a lot of Miami Heat podcasts, and they really like Morez Johnson coming in and thought he was more pro-ready than Ade Mara. And as a number 4, man, he is – oh, my gosh. Like, I thought it was going to be Yaxel, but Morez Johnson is about as good as you can get as well. Wow. Jason, they didn't take Ade Mara. Would you have taken Morez or Mara here?
I'll go for length, man. I mean, right now, you're in the West. You have 7'5" to go against on the regular there in San Antonio. You have a lot of big men in the West that you have to go against, so I would have went with 7'3". That's just me, because you need length down low. This is a good pick. You're getting a homer pick, of course, because you're coach. Now everybody's going to try to tie that little bit together here. I mean, Morez Johnson Jr. is an athletic dude. I would have went with size and with a big man, because big men don't grow on trees. And right now there's a lot of trees in the West that you need to compete with.
Well, and there's thoughts about Ade Mara potentially being Zach Edey, or maybe being a little slow, or his size. His size is great, but his game and his speed not translate into the NBA. But Morez Johnson can defend different positions. He is a great defensive tool. Carson, I would kind of trust Morez Johnson defending some of those bigs in the Western Conference, like a Chet Holmgren, or making things a little difficult for a very talented Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, I agree. I think that he is better than Mara. I would have picked him over Mara. And the reason being is, yes, the West has a lot of length, but it has a lot of length that can space the floor, right? You have Chet, who can play on the perimeter, Wemby, who can play on the perimeter, Jokic, who can go out there, play on the perimeter. I think Mara was going to get absolutely smoked by a lot of these bigs in the West. And I also think I'm not as high on Mara as a lot of people. I think he's got a lot of good traits, but the name of the game is kind of get out and run right now, right? The best teams are running. The Thunder, the Spurs, the Knicks, the Pacers last year, right? The best teams are getting out and they are running the floor. And Amara is going to be a slow-footed big no matter where he goes. Now, he is a very, very good rebounder and he's a very good outlet passer. So I do think he's going to have some value there. But I still think he's going to get ran off the floor in a lot of these matchups.
Shannon, I just want to point out that Dusty May was the Michigan head coach. He coached a national championship team, and where I thought it was going to be Axel Lindeborg, he chose his favorite Wolverine. You know that Dusty May has the most insight to these players, not only on the court, but in the locker room, their character. And he decided to pair Morez Johnson with Cooper Flagg as he embarks on his NBA coaching journey. Do you believe that this was the right move, or do you believe this says more about Morez Johnson and how highly Dusty May thinks of him, or could this be a slight on Ade Mara or Yaxel Lindeborg on terms of how they're valued?
I do like this pick, actually. I do. I thought Yaxel was going to be the guy, but the more I look at it, Morez is nice. So he's got the length. He's got the defense. I really do think that the defense is going to be big because, you got big guys in the league. But I think Morez Johnson could be developed. I think he can because, Wemby got pushed around in the finals. He got pushed around. He got beat up. Pushed him out to the perimeter where he can play in the perimeter, but that's not his strong suit at 7'5". Ain't no way. You ain't putting Wemby out on the wing primarily, regardless of how big, bulky he is. And Morris Johnson, guys like that, they're getting big. They're going to start pushing Wemby around. You're going to have to force him to get big. So, good pick. Okay, Dallas. So I see you trying to build after you made the worst trade in the history of the entire world. I see you trying to build. I like it.
They are trying to redeem themselves. And by the way, Drew Code Sports Talk, I believe this is Cody saying, "What up, fellas? Hey, appreciate you." Cody does so much stuff behind the scenes for Boom Broadcasting. We wouldn't be able to function without his help. So very much appreciated. Just like I very much appreciate the Milwaukee Bucks sending us Giannis Antetokounmpo at midnight last night. I could not sleep. I was awake till about 2 a.m. And now the Milwaukee Bucks are around, and the pick is in for the Milwaukee Bucks. They're drafted at 10, and they also have Miami's 13th overall pick. They acquired Tyler Hero. They may still trade Hero, potentially to a third team in that deal. They have Jaime Jaquez, but they have a blue chip prospect in Khalil Ware and Hakachonas. So really, I think it's best player available here for the Milwaukee Bucks. And again, picking at 13, they're going to get 2 lottery picks. They're going to be sitting pretty right here. And I'm sure all of us have thoughts on this trade for good, bad, or indifferent. But Carson, when you look at this Bucks team, do you try to compete this year with these 2 picks, or are you just banking on a high ceiling? Oh, sorry. Hold that thought. The pick is in. I apologize. The commissioner coming up for Braden Burries, the guard from Arizona. Jason called it, but Carson, I will make up for that. What are your thoughts on the question I proposed to you, as well as Burries picking?
Yeah, I wouldn't go all in on trying to win this year. I just don't think they have the pieces. Like I like Jonas a lot. I like Jaime Jaquez Jr. I like. I mean, I don't really like Tyler Hero that much. I'm not gonna lie, but I like Ryan Rollins. I probably and I like Kalel Ware a lot. I probably would have tried to go more, maybe like Yaxel Lindenborg. I think would have been a very very good pick here. Um, as a mismatch attacker. I like Braden Burries a lot. I think he's a good pick here. It makes me wonder what is going to happen with Tyler Hero because they're kind of both in that like two guard um, slot. So, and I'm just not that big of a fan of Tyler Hero, to be honest. So, yeah, maybe they try to trade him, but no, I still think that they're in rebuilding mode pretty heavily. I do think it's a good pick. Like I said, I like Braden Burries. I think he's going to be better than Tyler Hero eventually, not starting out, of course. But he does a lot of things right on the basketball court. He's a good connective passer. He plays defense. And he's just a smart player. So yeah, I think he's going to be good. And I do think it is a pretty good pick.
Now, Jason, you were the one who called this Burry's pick and kind of mentioning what Carson did here. I believe Tyler Hero won't play in his hometown, Milwaukee. I believe Detroit might be a destination to add as a third team, getting Tyler Hero to Detroit, and also potentially moving Duncan Robinson back to Miami, and the Heat able to get a big piece back in their rotation. But he made a good point. I don't know how Braden Burries fits here. He's a smaller point guard, so I don't know if he plays the two or if he plays the one. And Milwaukee kind of brings Jonas off the bench if they were to keep him. You said Burries is the pick. Why do you think he fits in Milwaukee?
Because he was one of the better picks left, and right now Milwaukee needs to rebuild. And I said it earlier, the copycat league. They see what the New York Knicks did with their guard play. They just saw a bunch of guards go in the first part of this draft. So they need to go out there and start building from the ground up. So they're going to go out there and pick who they think is the better player left. So go out and get yourself a ball facilitator, a guy that can hopefully lead your offense. I do like the pick, but right now Milwaukee, I'm still very disappointed on how they handled everything to do with Giannis Antetokounmpo over the past 2-3 years. But luckily they did it the way they did it, because if not, he would have been a New York Knick last year and he would not be a Miami Heat. So I really like the fact that you guys got yourself Giannis. But this again, copycat league. Bucks wanted to go guard play, and that's what they did.
That's what they did. And Shannon, I'll get your thoughts on the Bucks when they're up here in a couple picks to take Miami's 13th overall selection. But the Warriors are here. And Shannon, there's a particular reason I'm wanting to pose this to you first. You're big on Nate Emmett from Tennessee, the forward, but we still have Yaxel Lindeborg from Michigan. Both would play that 4. Where do you see the Golden State Warriors going, and could this potentially be a way to move off Draymond Green?
Oh, that's what they're looking for in this next pick, I believe. And Yaxel Lindenberg looks like that might be their guy. I like Nate, but I think Nate is a little more finesse. Mm-hmm. He would fit in Steve Kerr's offense, but I think they need a bruiser. And Yaxel Lindenberg is that guy. I think he's a big, bulky kid, 6'9", 240. They need that on their squad. They need the ferocity. And I think Yaxel brings that to that team. So go ahead and get him.
Yeah,
you think they're moving off of Draymond?
I
would say so. I would say so. It's only a matter of time there. Carson, I get it. But it's only a matter of time.
I don't think so. I mean, I think that they are really going in on this final Steph Curry timeline, and Draymond still makes you an elite defense year in and year out. So I think that it's Yaxel Lindenborg, but I actually think they're going to play alongside each other. I could see them moving to more of a permanent small ball 5 with Draymond at the 5, just because he offers that unique rim protection, and he's going to make you a good defense no matter what. I think the pick should probably be a Daimara here, but I really hope that it is Yaxel Lindeborg, because if it's not, then that means he's going to go to OKC, and that is terrifying.
That if OKC having a lottery pick, especially this year, is criminal for their progression. I did have Morez Johnson going to the Golden State Warriors in my mock
That would have been a
draft.
good pick.
Obviously, he went to Dallas at 9, and I actually had Lindeborg going to Dallas at 9 originally in my mock lottery last night on Out of Pocket. But Draymond's stats are slipping. He'll be 37 by the season's end, and I feel like with just the amount of headache he causes, you can only take up for it so much. The Warriors haven't competed for a championship in a few years, and that would make those a lot easier. And so, yeah, I can totally see the Warriors picking a player who could move on. But Yaxel Lindeborg kind of serves both purposes and could also help transition Golden State away from the Steph Curry era. Obviously, Curry can play as long as he wants to, but it's getting close. And what's also getting close is the commissioner coming up to announce the Golden State Warriors pick at number 11. We've had a flurry of players picked. Just a small recap. We got AJ DeBonso, number 1 to Washington. Darryn Peterson going 2 to Utah. Cameron Boozer, the Duke product, going to 3 at Memphis. Caleb Wilson, Blue Devil rival, UNC Tar Heel. Caleb Wilson goes 4 to Chicago. Keaton Wagler goes 5 to the Los Angeles Clippers. Mikael Brown Jr., the guard from Louisville, goes to Brooklyn at 6. Sacramento Kings take Darius Acuff finally from Arkansas. Atlanta gets their Trae Young replacement in Kingston Flemings from Houston. And as I mentioned, Morez Johnson will be joining Dusty May in Dallas, leaving Ann Arbor. And Milwaukee, with one of their 2 lottery picks, take Braden Burries from Arizona. Golden State, Jason, I know it's better for the league for Golden State to be better. How do you feel they'll improve this class?
This is going to be tough because they need a lot there. I mean, they really do. Golden State to really start competing back into the West, they need to get rid of Draymond Green. I think he needs to go. I would have loved to see Draymond Green this year get traded away. I would have liked to see him go to Detroit, kind of almost back home with his Michigan roots, Michigan State roots there. But they need to do something. Steph Curry, the babyface assassin. It's crazy to say he's not young anymore. Yes, I know. Let's see.
Jason, Yaxel Lindeborg is a Golden
Yaxel.
State Warrior.
Good pick.
Oh my goodness.
Good pick.
Great pick.
Good pick.
I like it.
I think he's going to flourish. I think he's going to play really, really well playing with Steph Curry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh, the gravity that Steph Curry brings. He's going to be, especially because he can play in so many different situations. You know, he can play from the short elbow. He can play on the perimeter. He can play in the corner. He can play in the short corner. He can play on the block. Yeah, I mean, he is going to benefit so much from Steph Curry running around screens and being doubled and triple teamed every play. You know, that is just going to be absolutely massive.
This is a huge, huge pick for Golden State. And do you think they start to move on from, a Draymond Green, Carson? Do you think that maybe Jimmy Buckets gets on the trading block and they move him on an older Jimmy Butler? Do you see some huge retooling from this Golden State Warriors team?
I don't really think so. I think they're going to run it back. I think they're going to hope that Jimmy Butler can get healthy, stay healthy. And look, this kind of confirms it to me because Yaxel Lindeborg is 24 years old, right? He's not a guy who you're going to see a bunch of improvement over his career. But they said that, he is ready. He's ready for the NBA as he is. And they are just going to go all in right now on trying to win as much as they can. Now, I don't think that it's a move that's going to send them over the top or anything like that. But remember when Jimmy Butler was healthy last year, Golden State was a really, really good team. So I am excited to see how this plays out. But no, I don't think they move off Draymond. I just think that he is almost in that Steph Curry air where it's like you're going to just do right by him as an organization now because he has done right by you for so long. I mean, I know like, yeah, he punched Jordan Poole and everything and kind of, he kind of derailed the franchise in that way a little bit. But no, I just think that the organization has so much loyalty to him at this point that no, they're not going to move him.
Mr. Shannon Smith, what do you think here? Do you think, I mean, I know you've been talking Yaxel all night here. What do you think this does for the Golden State Warriors?
It makes them stronger. This is a big kid right here, but he's a very athletic kid on top of that, too. I like him in the low post, that high post as well, too. Just big and strong. I like the fact that he can enforce, and he did a lot of that when he was in Michigan. So this is good. This is a very, very smart pick from the Golden State Warriors. I like it. So much upside playing with the ageless Steph Curry. But I think that this is a step for the future with them. He's a building block for what they draft in the next couple of years, I would say.
Yeah, he's probably top 3 in Rookie of the Year voting. I would have to
You think so?
say. I mean, he's 24 years old, and this was like, in my opinion, the second best player in college last year. Right? If he was 20 years old, if he was 19 years old, he would be, going top 4 probably. He would probably be over Caleb Wilson as that number 4 prospect. So obviously he is 24 and he wasn't the same player when he was 19 as these guys are now. But as what he is now, yeah, I think he's going to be one of the best rookies alongside Cameron Boozer, alongside maybe Darius Acuff. I think Cameron Boozer is probably going to be Rookie of the Year, but I could see Lindenborg being maybe number 2, and I think that they're going to have somewhat of like a little rivalry, for the first few years of their career, just because they were the 2 best players in college, and I think they're going to be the 2 best rookies coming out of this class immediately.
I'd like it. I like your take on that. I think he's going to be up there with Acuff Jr. He has the potential to be Rookie of the Year. I think Golden State is really going to showcase his talents. And I think, you're playing with Steve Kerr, you're playing Coach Kerr. I mean, you're playing with a championship level coach that's going to take your talents and mesh them with Steph Curry. I think it's a no-brainer. I like it. So we got the Thunder, which, yes, you guys talked about it. The Oklahoma City Thunder, Sam Presti, the best GM currently in the NBA. Sam Presti, he knows how to stack chips, collect pieces. I'm surprised they have not got into the Jaylen Brown sweepstakes to try to put him on that championship team. But the pick is in for Oklahoma City. So let's see what the Thunder do with that pick, because how much more can they add to this squad?
Exactly. I'm just so glad that Lindenborg is off the board. They're probably going to go Daimara here. I think that he's like the only real need, maybe like post, after Hartenstein leaves, like that timeline. But I don't really even like him here. I don't think that they have anybody who is really going to make a difference. Maybe what is his name? Cameron. Oh, I can't remember his name, but he's Cameron Carr. Yeah, Carr. Ridiculous movement shooter. I could really see them going out and just getting a guy like that, because you could always use some more shooting.
I don't know how much more the Thunder can use. I mean, with that trade they did with the 76ers earlier, essentially getting a potential rookie of the year. I mean, they are stacked. I know Jalen Williams, Jay Will has some injury concerns, was injured during the playoffs.
True.
So they definitely have a little bit of depth, but we have a pick here. It's in. Let's go. Who do we got here? Thunder.
I don't like it.
Oh, they go for another big man. So you got the twin toothpicks there in Oklahoma City. You got Mara and Ichabod Crane going to play next to each other. You see 2 7-footers. They're going to put 2 7-footers against Victor Wembanyama and try to completely stifle the rim here.
That's probably exactly what this pick is for, right? It is probably a pick to say we are trying to beat this one guy because Chet just looked so hopeless in that matchup. So, yeah, they probably are just they probably picked him specifically for that matchup. But even then, I don't really love Mara here just because the Thunder like to run so much. Like they're a really, really fast team. And this is a really, really slow-footed big. Like Hartenstein is a slow-footed big. This guy is on a different level of slow. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go.
But that's an interesting pick, though.
Definitely.
So,
what do you got, Michael Davis?
I was
He's just as disgusted as I am.
I feel like Mara, this is around where I thought he would go. With Oklahoma City being so deep, they can definitely take best player available. It's interesting they passed up on Nate Ament from Tennessee. But honestly, like when you look at who is around here, Ament, Mara, Phylon Jr., those should be the next 3 picks in some sort of order. But what shocks me is like Ade Mara might open the door to a Chet Holmgren trade. The Thunder have to the Thunder have to keep the best part of their young core together, and Chet Holmgren disappears sometimes, and so I wouldn't be surprised if Mara does pan out, that they're like, hey, we have him. Maybe we can move off Chet Holmgren to keep the rest of the young core. It's a possibility. It at least opens up the door for conversation.
This is a Mitchell Robinson situation. This is you got Chet Holmgren out there starting, and then he starts getting gassed. You need another big man to come in and kind of do some rim protecting, get you a few points here and there. Hopefully he can make a free throw. This is that kind of situation. This is a backup for Chet because Chet ran out of gas towards the end there and was because they had nobody else to kind of put him. Whereas you look at the New York Knicks, they had, they were able to bring Robinson off the bench, get him some, get rebounds, just go get rebounds, get in the way, block some shots, boom. So I think that's that kind of situation. I don't see him as a Chet replacement.
I don't know if I would say that Chet ran out of gas. I think that his motor and his stamina is up to par. I think that it was like I really think it was a mental thing. I think he was scared and I think he was lost. When you're
just
star
came off
player,
a championship, it's not like they didn't win.
Got
they
outplayed.
Came up a championship. He ran out of gas.
But he didn't play. He didn't play a Wemby in that championship, right? He was going up against this is the guy that he has been compared to, and Wemby is blowing expectations out of the water. And Chet is good, but he's kind of where he's supposed to be in his development, and Wemby is so far ahead already. I really think that he did. I think it was a mental thing with him where he was so scared to go up against him. And then and his confidence was gone. They asked Shea, what do you need to do in order to get Chet going? And Shea just sat there for 15 seconds. The entire team's confidence in Chet had completely drained in that series. And so I think it did for Chet as well. And so I think that that's kind of what you got to see. You got to see if he's going to be able to rise to the competition whenever he's playing Wemby. Because if not, then Ade Mara is a good backup there that is going to go in and do his thing.
Now I will
I will want to say this. It can be seen what the Oklahoma City Thunder will do with Ade Mara and his development. It's probably the best place he can develop. There's only been 2 other centers in the last 10 years over 7'3" who have been taken in the lottery, and that is Victor Wembanyama and Zach Edey. So very impressive there. Shannon, I told you I'd come back to you with the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm making good on my promise here. They took Braden Burries at 10 overall, but now they have Miami's pick at 13. And guess who is still on the board? Is it happening here?
They got to do it. I think Nate is the guy. Nate is very he's tall. I think he's tall. He's very, very lengthy. I think he can play very good defense on the wing. He can also play in that high post as well. And he can get to the basket. So I look for Nate being here. If I don't see Nate go, I would say Hans Steinbeck will probably be either him or Nate. But I got to go with Nate in this one. Go with Nate.
Say it with me, Mike. Phylon Jr. That is the guy that the Miami has to go for here. He is. They have 0 guards on their roster now, and they've got 2 bigs. It's got to be Phylon Jr.
Carson, don't hate me, but this pick's going to Milwaukee.
Yeah, that was part of the Giannis trade.
I know.
I forgot about that. My bad, gang.
I know.
Miami wished they still had this pick, and
with
Giannis
Jr. still on the board.
Would be so. I mean, Yaxel was off the board, but Phylon would have been so great.
He would have been.
That's
ball.
Oh my goodness. Phylon would have been so good. I had him in both of my mocks to Miami, and I just wish this pick stayed with Miami. Get rid of Hero, Jaquez, Ware, Hakichonis, the 2 first rounds in 5-7 years from now. But man, this kind of hurts a little with Phylon still being on the board. But I trust Miami. You gotta go get your guy, and I promise there is going to be some more coverage on that Giannis trade in the next day or so. Make sure you guys stay tuned towards the end of the stream where we have some big breaking news about Boom Broadcasting that will change how you consume our content. We're super excited for this. This has to be Nate Ament. I don't think it's Steinbach. I think, I don't see Steinbach going at this high. And with Burries going at 10, I think Ament's the pick here, Jason, for the Milwaukee Bucks. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, they actually filled out a starting 5 with Burries and Hero if he stays, Jaquez,
right?
Nate Ament here, and Khalil Ware. That's your new starting 5. You got a whole starting lineup.
Probably Yaka Jonas over Tyler Hero. I think Tyler Hero is going to be gone. So
that's true. Yeah. That's true. We could definitely see Tyler Hero on there. And Sean, what's up? Had to slide through, and Boozer to Memphis. Somewhere. I don't think it's that bad, right?
I don't think so either.
I don't think it's that bad. So technically the Miami Heat still own this pick until the league year is official, but this player will be going to the Milwaukee Bucks, but they're still going to wear a Miami Heat hat. And
so Miami should pick somebody like Tara, who's last on the board.
Yeah.
Who's last?
It's Nate Ament, the forward from Tennessee. Shannon, he finally went off the board.
There's your guy.
Clamoring for him to go, and he gets off finally in the lottery, number 13. He will likely be going to Milwaukee, and it's just so weird. So weird to see.
I think that this was probably the right pick. I was not a huge Nate Ament guy. I was when he was coming out of high school. I didn't see what I wanted to see out of him at Tennessee. I think he is a really, really raw prospect. He is he plays very young.
agree.
But at Milwaukee, where they don't really have a set system in place, I think he's going to be allowed to go out there and put his shots up and learn and fail and succeed. And I think that's how you grow a young player, as you let him go out there, and sometimes you just got to let him figure it out himself. I worry about his confidence. I saw at times his confidence get a little shaken at Tennessee. And so, if that happens here in Milwaukee where he's not making his shots and the team's losing a lot, how that could affect him. But I think that this was a pretty good place that he could go and just figure out who he is as a basketball player and how to get better.
Carson, I believe that's an incredible take. And one thing you don't want is to lose your confidence in a place where you just traded your star who brought a championship to Milwaukee. And no matter how it ended there, I mean, Giannis is still beloved in Wisconsin. And the only good thing here is you get Braden Burries, you get Nate Ament, you get several pieces from Miami. Jason, do you feel like the Bucks fans are like, hey, we'll take this as a fresh start?
No, Bucks fans are completely disappointed. You're not replacing Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, come on. I mean, they are just a couple of ticks below Dallas fans right now with the whole Luka thing. At least this wasn't a complete shock. They've had like the year plus to process this happening. It's just it finally happens. But some good picks. I don't know if this kid is going to have enough scoring ability in him in the first couple of years. He's definitely going to need some development here with that pick. Because, Giannis scored the basketball, and I don't see him dropping in 20-plus points a game. I think he's going to be pretty raw and young, and this Bucks team's going to be hard to watch for the next couple of years until they really figure out what they're doing with the pieces they have. If they're going to do trades, they need to do it now. So they can have a squad and figure out what their squad's going to be before the season starts. So they can kind of get some consistency and continuity. But this Milwaukee Bucks team and this franchise is headed for some dark times after this trade. You can get all the pieces you want. You're not replacing a top 5 player in the NBA like Giannis was. And especially if they're not done moving pieces around. So, Milwaukee Bucks fans, don't buy jerseys yet because you don't know who's going to physically be on your team.
True.
That is very true. Tyler Hero is in trade rumors that he may not stay in Milwaukee, which is actually his hometown. But Nate Ament is in Milwaukee if this trade goes through, and there's all indication that it will. And if it doesn't, for some reason, I'd be like, why didn't we get LeBaron Philon Jr.? But going back to my mock lottery that was dropped yesterday, I've gotten 13 of the 14 lottery picks correct in some order or another. The only guy who I thought was a lottery pick was Philon Jr., and right now we have the Charlotte Hornets on the board, but the Charlotte Hornets need a different type player. I don't believe they take Philon because of how well LaMelo meshed. And there was part of the season last year I thought LaMelo was going to be traded. But the Hornets got hot. The Hornets pick is actually in. And what I could see happening is, I don't love the pick, so don't get me wrong. I think Steinbach from Washington could very well be the choice here for the Charlotte Hornets from Washington. He's 6'11". He's not really a traditional rim protector, so that would be scary, but he did have 11.8 rebounds per game last year. So his numbers were high when crashing the boards, and that could bode well for the Charlotte Hornets, who are, very perimeter happy right now, and trying to shoot up a lot of threes. And as these young players continue to improve, could be an option here. Carson, where do you see who you see being the last lottery pick?
I think it probably will be Steinbach. I don't know how well he fits here. because the Hornets are already like a massive rebounding team, right? Like Kalkbrenner and Mark Williams, like they are two very good rim protectors and they are two good rebounders. And that's kind of their thing, right? And then, like you said, they shoot up threes. So their whole thing is that they just win the possession battle and they put up more threes than you do, and 3 is worth more than 2. So I don't know. I'm kind of thinking like Kareem Lopez here, maybe.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
it's not going to be Phylon Jr. He just doesn't fit here. So I think Steinbach is probably the pick. Yeah, maybe they go Cameron Carr and they just maximize their shooting. They say, give me another absolutely insane movement shooter, and that would be a fun offense.
So here is the Charlotte Hornets pick. The Charlotte Hornets deciding to take. Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm behind.
So am I. Same.
They do take Steinbach.
Okay, makes sense.
They do take Steinbach.
Yeah.
From Washington again. And Charlotte is in a very interesting position. This was a bottom feeding team that pushed for a play-in appearance and had LaMelo and Knipple and Miller and Bridges firing on all cylinders. And they just lack a big man. This team is in consideration in trade rumors for Sabonis. They've been in trade rumors for Walker Kessler from the Utah Jazz. But with Steinbach here at the very last pick in the lottery, they take Steinbach and will want the Division I rebound leader on their team. I don't love the pick. I don't think he was the best player available, but in terms of fit, it makes sense, especially Jason. As this young team grows, they may get, shotgun happy with these 3-pointers. And if they have an off night, Steinbach gives your best chance to rebound the board and get second chance points.
I mean, I don't hate the pick. I mean, you're essentially, rolling the dice. I still think the Charlotte Hornets should be making moves here to get a veteran presence. I think ultimately that's really what this team needs to really focus the young stars that they had, LaMelo Ball, Knipple. I think they really need, and that's why I said, at the beginning of the show, Jaylen Brown, throw him in there with this young squad. I like the pick, but at the same time, I don't think this Charlotte Hornets team needs youth. I think they need some experience to really put them into the next tier of teams right now. Because, yes, it's great getting hot, but, you need a veteran presence on a young team like that to really focus and to really get you guys headed into the right direction. Youth, you're prone to make a lot of mistakes, and there's no one there to really help you clean them up.
So we'll get back into this Hornets pick. Chris DeLuca brought up a good point. Since the Heat and Bucks trade happened so close to the draft, it involved a pick in said draft. Was something crazy happened, like Giannis fell in his physical, the picks would be made. That would be tough. I don't know if Miami would back out of the deal with the physical. I mean, it would be pretty serious, but I believe so. Like the picks would be made, and since the league year didn't start, then the trade would be void, and I guess Nate Ament would be a member of the Miami Heat.
Exactly.
Very, very rare chance this happens. At the very best, I think a deal would be made, but Miami would have to give up less. But Shannon, you and I love living in North Carolina, even though we don't always root for our North Carolina teams. There was a certain excitement. There was a certain buzz in Buzz City and around our state because of how good the Hornets were last year. Can Steinbach grow with this team? Are they going to go full young, or do you think they should take Jason's advice about getting some veteran help?
Absolutely. They've got to get some veteran help in there. they've got a good youth movement right now with Khan and with LaMelo, Brandon Miller. They have a good young core. They've just got to have some established players. But then again, it's one of those kind of things. Charlotte is a small market, and getting those players there is kind of tough. I like the idea of getting younger players. I think that Steinbeck will be okay, but I don't see him like making a big splash on this team like what Khan did last year. But Khan is one of those lottery players that was a franchise-changing player. Hans is not. There's no disrespect. It is what it is. But the veteran leadership has got to be there. Veteran players have got to be there. What we've got left are smaller players. And Charlotte doesn't really need the guard play out of these young guys. Other teams do. So I think they've got to go with the veteran presence. They do.
And I'm glad you bring up some of the size and the players remaining. Kareem Lopez, 6'9", Allen Graves, 6'9", Chris Sinnock Jr., 6'11", probably as big as you're going to get. Maybe Jay Quintance at from Kentucky at 6'10", who had some injury concerns, and for a big man, that's not what you want to see. But we have officially left the lottery. I believe LeBaron Philon Jr. from Alabama is the best pick available. I had him mocked to Miami at 13 when they originally held the pick, and probably if they did have the pick, that's where they would have went. But we're out of the lottery, and actually it is Shannon's Chicago Bulls back up on the board in one of the deepest classes I could think of. Your Chicago Bulls made some moves earlier in selecting Caleb Wilson, who could be a ball handler, but do you feel like this could be Philon Jr. here for Chicago, or where do you want to see your team move?
How did you know I was going to say that? How did you know? So makes perfect sense. Need the perimeter play. Need the shooting. Need the offense. Philon Jr., let's go.
You have Josh Giddey, Shannon. You have Josh Giddey.
I get that. Look, I know.
Whoa.
I know.
Is that a joke? I'm sorry.
Yes, it is. I hate Josh Giddey.
I know.
I do not like Josh Giddey at all.
I was waiting on Carson to come with the punchline because I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. Carson don't like this dude.
Yeah, no. We can trade Josh Giddey, you know, trade him for a McDouble or whatever. I don't care. Philon Jr. is your future. You know, that is the guy that you need to go get.
Man, can you imagine for Chicago? I know you take Caleb Wilson over Darius Acuff. Not upset about that at all. Caleb Wilson's a game changer. But if you pair Philon with Caleb Wilson,
winners of the draft. Winners of the draft if they're able to do that.
And I'm gonna pull up a kind of just getting the Chicago Bulls lineup. If that was the pick, you would probably have Philon. You probably even have Josh Giddey at the 2, Buzelis at the 3, Caleb Wilson at the 4, and Nick Claxton right now is a Chicago Bull. Jalen Smith is also there.
Don't
all of a sudden, all of a sudden, Chicago looking really good, and has a good young core to build upon. If Philon's the pick, I feel like it needs to be. And Adam Silver's coming out. And after this, we'll get Shannon's reaction as a Bulls fan if this is a pick other than Philon. Dalen Swain.
Wow.
From Texas.
I like Dalen Swain, but I don't like that pick.
Whoa, Shannon. Immediate reaction passing on Philon to get Swain from Texas.
Was not the guy that I wanted. Not a bad pick, but still. No.
Okay, he did do a lot for Texas. Like this isn't a slouch player. Second team All SEC. He led his team in almost every statistical category for the Longhorns. It's not a bad pick, but Carson, yeah, you kind of alluded to it. Not a bad player, just maybe a little high and not the pick with Phylon still there.
Yeah, I do like the player that he is. I think he's a good pick, but with Phylon still there, I think that was the pick. And now the world just fell into Memphis's hands. Can you imagine Phylon and Boozer together? You get John Morant out of there, you could trade him for a McChicken. Like those two. Oh, what a duo of the future that could be. Memphis, don't mess this up. Please don't let Phylon Jr. go to OKC. Please don't let him go to OKC.
Oh my God, I would cry.
No.
They couldn't really use him all that well, but still, Memphis, if they get Phylon Jr. here, that they are set up for success big time.
Man, I mean, I think they love Swain's size. I think that's what the Bulls like, is the fact that he's big.
He's a better defender.
That's what that's
he leading in steals as opposed to Phylon is just not really a good defender. So they got defensive presence with Swain.
Look like they're going with that 3-and-D is what they're looking at. Him playing the 3-and-D.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious what Chicago will do when it comes to who starts at point. Is it going to be Giddey? Is it going to be Trey Jones? Is one of those guys going to come off the bench? Because
Giddey's going to get traded to Miami.
No. All right, we can stop there.
No, but seriously, Chicago likes Giddey a lot. Chicago genuinely likes Giddey.
That would make Michael Davis have fun talking Miami Heat basketball, and I'm not going to say win, but he is going to have a great time. You get Giannis, and then you get Josh Giddey on the same team.
Get it.
Oh my goodness!
No, but in all seriousness, Chicago actually does like Josh Giddey. You got to remember they traded him for Alex Caruso, right?
Yes.
Alex Caruso, a guy who swings championship games.
Yes,
like they like Giddey, so they're gonna roll with him. and like he had an okay year last year. You know, like he had a decent year. So yeah, I think they're gonna roll with him. But Chicago's, you know, that's what they're gonna do. They had a no-brainer and they did that right, but when they actually had to use their brain, it led them to somewhere that they should not have been.
I would have been okay with Anderson Jr. being picked in that spot, though. I would have been okay with him.
Yeah.
So what we have here is the next three picks are Memphis, Oklahoma City, and Charlotte. All three of these teams had lottery picks. Obviously, Memphis, number 3, getting Cameron Boozer from Duke. And then you had Oklahoma City taking Dave Mara from Michigan, the center. And then the Charlotte Hornets taking a center, Hans Steinbach from Washington. And we still have LeBaron Phylon Jr. on the board, could potentially pair up with a lottery pick. And either of those teams who take Phylon should have a steal from having literally 2 great lottery picks. Jason, is Phylon a Grizzly right here? Should we worry about Oklahoma City, or does Charlotte luck into Phylon Jr.?
I think Charlotte lucks into him. I don't see them taking him here with Ja Morant. And I don't really think he fits the style of play that team's looking for. I can see them going. I don't know. I mean, I can see them going Kareem Lopez, the kid from Mexico, which to me is a huge surprise. I mean, a couple of big surprises for me in this draft is, as deep as this draft is, not a lot of foreign players. You would have expected to see more of a foreign presence in this draft, but not really a lot, especially in the top 15, just, you know, as opposed to other years. Is it me, or we've done this? We did this live draft cast here with the NFL. The emotion of the players being drafted, I think, is a completely different. My observation from the NFL players, like guys were crying, tears, joy, like it was very, very emotional. I have not seen a lot of emotion from the guys getting drafted here. Is that me, or do you guys see that too? There's a huge difference between the NFL draft and the NBA draft. And to me, emotion is one of the things that I'm seeing.
Well, I think a couple reasons for that is, I mean, these picks can be traded at any time. You can get super excited about going to a team, and 10 minutes later you're traded to another. We haven't seen any of those draft night trades, but right now Adam Silver's at the podium announcing the Memphis Grizzlies selection, and it's Bennett Sturts from Iowa.
Wow.
Shannon, I didn't see that one coming. I
didn't either.
Bennett Sturts, 6'4", 190 pounds. He transferred a few times and ultimately landed in Iowa. I mean, you can say he's more mature, obviously being an older draft pick, but Shannon, I think they missed the ball here.
Oh my goodness.
Very much. No.
Grizz doing Grizz things.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
What does he do better? Like, what is the upside with him
He's mature,
that
Carson.
Phylon doesn't have? You know,
He's
but
mature, Carson.
they're
He's
not
mature.
in a winning. They're not in win now mode. Yes, they got Cameron Boozer, and look, I liked Bennett Sturts at Iowa. I thought he was pretty good, but what does he do better than Phylon Jr.?
He's mature, Carson. He's a mature guy. That's why.
Sounds like
That's it. That's all I got.
I don't agree with that pick. I don't agree with it. Phylon's right there. And now here's the thing. I don't think Phylon really fits very well with either of these next two teams. I don't think he fits well with Oklahoma City, and I don't really think he fits well with Charlotte. I thought he should have been the pick here. I thought Cameron Carr would have been a better pick here than Bennett Sturts too. I just don't understand. He's the same position as Phylon Jr. It just doesn't make sense.
Jason, are you making sense of this?
No, I got nothing. Just sometimes you wonder what teams are looking at, what their draft strategy is. I mean, and again, if it's something like, hey, we're going to trade this pick no matter what, or trade this guy no matter what, go out and get a better available pick. I mean, this is
very important information. This pick is actually going to Oklahoma City. Bennett Sturts to Oklahoma City.
Well, all right.
Oh, so that's why they did it. They wanted to send him.
What does that help with them either?
It doesn't help anything. They can trade him away.
It really doesn't.
They have Shea and they have AJ Mitchell. I mean, they don't really need him. And if they were going to trade him away, Phylon Jr. has more trade value than this guy. So I just don't understand. And I do want to know what the other trade was too, because if they traded AJ Mitchell, maybe then I could see what it is. But I just don't understand. I want to know what the details of this trade are.
Said from Phoenix via Orlando, but is going to OKC.
Yeah, so officially, basically, Memphis and Oklahoma City swapped places right there, which I'm kind of scratching my head a little bit that Oklahoma City
for 2 second-round picks.
Wow.
So I guess Memphis just didn't like anybody there. They didn't see anybody that they really thought they couldn't live without, and I don't understand that. I don't get it.
It's got to be a money thing because you don't want to pay. I mean, there's got to be some kind of dollars involved. Apron. You start getting in these first apron, second apron things with draft picks and stuff too. Who you got to pay, how much you got to pay. There's got to be something involved in this, or you're trying to pad your G League or there's the D League or whatever it's called now. I mean, you're trying to. Essentially, your developmental players, you're just getting guys to throw on that developmental league so you can stockpile guys. And then if you need to call somebody up, you have somebody that has some value. It's interesting how these GMs, what they look at, how their scouting reports. Yeah, who knows? I mean, I don't know. It's crazy.
So I'll say this. Oklahoma City must have really loved Bennett Sturts to trade up one spot. And we were scratching our head about like just passing up on Philon and Lopez and a couple others. But to be like, hey, we want to trade up one spot to make sure we don't miss out on Bennett Sturts. I wonder what they did scouting wise that made them fall in love with Sturts and to give up 2 second-round picks. Cameron Carr's still there. Sanak is still there. Carson, how are you digesting everything that's went on right here?
Well, first, I just want to correct what I had said earlier. It is not just the pick for the 2 second-round picks. It is, as you said, Michael, they're swapping the picks, and Memphis is getting 2 second-rounders on top of that. So essentially, it's just a one-spot trade. And then Memphis is getting 2 additional. So good trade for Memphis, I guess. I mean, especially if they didn't care about Bennett Sturts. And now they have another chance to get Philon Jr. here.
Oh, my goodness.
Do it. You got to do it. You got to do it, Memphis.
Because if they need somebody to handle the rock and you're thinking about trading Morant or seeing how he does, Philon's a great substitution here. Pair him with Coward, pair him with Edey and Boozer. Oh man, I really like this pick. And Memphis picking up 2 seconds too. Malik Brown could be great defensively for the Grizzlies and bring them back to the Tony Allen days. And even Desmond Bane's defense was really good. Jaren Jackson's defense really good. Memphis has a chance to win the draft if they can get LeBaron Philon Jr. right here.
Now, I think that this is going to tell us what direction they're heading. Because if they pick Philon Jr., that to me says they're going to do everything they can to offload Morant. If they want to keep Morant, Cameron Carr is the pick here. Because he would slot in super well with Boozer. And, I could just imagine a Boozer Morant pick and roll. You hit Boozer in the short elbow and Cameron Carr's coming around a back screen. So, I mean, that would be a very, very good offense in my opinion, but I'm just not a big Ja guy. So I hope they pick Philon Jr. and I hope they offload Ja.
All right, here's the pick for, it says Oklahoma City, but it is actually going to Memphis, and instead of Philon Jr., they take Ibuka Okori, the guard from Stanford, here with this pick. 6'2", 185 pounds from Stanford. Talk about being small. A lot of people were surprised that he actually left after his freshman year to go pro. But hey, good for him. He is taken in the first round, middle of the pack of the NBA draft. But this pick is owned by Oklahoma City, but they traded ahead to get Bennett Sturts, and Memphis still gets Ibuka Okori. Jason, this still kind of gives them the opportunity to move off Ja Morant, but for some reason they really like Okori over Philon. For whatever
that's not going to happen. Ja Morant is going to stay a Memphis Grizzly. This is weird. Again, this is a Jalen Brunson pick. Small guard, ball handler, someone who can facilitate. Going to kind of try to mesh with Ja. And it looks like Charlotte, you just had a stud fall in your lap. with
I just
Phylon
don't.
Jr.
I just don't think
So-
Phylon fits there. I don't think. I don't
You make them
see the
fit.
fit.
You
True.
find a way to make them fit.
There's
this is a unless you don't want him, you trade him away. You trade this pick away. But this is it because Okore, he's going to be okay. I don't know if his game is going to translate into the NBA. He's going to be 3 to 5 year development. Just because of the size and his type of game, this is interesting. And I don't see the Memphis Grizzlies as a development type atmosphere for him. Wow. There's still some great players on the board here too, man. They're showing Jay Billis is best available here, man. And this is very shocking. The last 2-3 picks here, just of what teams are thinking.
Yeah, I feel like we just got off of I think that all four of us had a very clear and correct for the most part way of the way this draft was going to go, and then pick 14 or 15 hit, and it's just like everything just hits the wall. I don't know what's happening anymore. Yeah, and this just shows, like we had all said before the draft started, how deep this draft goes, and I guess it goes deeper than we thought because we're on pick 18, and there are still guys who genuinely can change a franchise out that haven't been drafted yet. So, yeah, I personally, I really do hope that the Hornets go Cameron Carr here, and I hope Toronto gets Phylon Jr.
So, I do really. I really love. I really love Phylon Jr. Cameron Carr wouldn't be a bad pick. He's kind of streaky, but when he's on, he's on. Chris Sanok Jr. wouldn't be such a bad pick here for Charlotte if we're talking about fit.
Sure.
If Steinbach doesn't pan out, you got Sanok who really helped those Houston teams. I actually really love him, and here at this pick, Shannon. What are you seeing from Charlotte right here?
The Sanok Jr. Pick would be really good, but Christian Anderson Jr. If you want to add more shooting to the team, my man can shoot the ball real good. But I'm thinking if I was Charlotte, I'd go Sanok Jr. on this one. I don't know if they want to go with more guards, and you can never have enough shooting. I get it. But also, too, the front court has got to be a priority as well. So, as much as the Steinbeck pick, I'm okay with that. But I think you could probably do something with Chris Sanok Jr., big kid, 6'11", 240. I like his glass clearing, and he does have the touch. He has a shooter's touch to him. So, the mid-range could work. That 18-footer could be nice. So, Sanok Jr. on this one.
Okay, Jason, where are you leaning towards for Charlotte?
Man, this is tough because whatever we're thinking is probably the complete opposite of what a lot of these teams are thinking right now here. I like Carson's pick with Carr, the guard out of Baylor. This is going to be, don't be surprised, your boy from Duke, Isaiah Davis, if they're looking for
Isaiah
guard.
Evans.
Evans.
I'm sorry, Isaiah Evans.
I like that.
I
hope he
think
goes
that
to the
would
Cavs,
be I think that would be keeping him close to home kind of deal, hometown kid. So I'm thinking Evans here. That's going to be my pick here, going for the Dookie.
I like that. I think that's a good pick. I think he would fit super well. He's a really good movement shooter, and he's also tall, which I like because the Hornets have really, really good size. I thought about Chris Anderson Jr., but he's 6'1", so I think he's just kind of I think for that reason he doesn't fit. Isaiah Evans is what, 6'8", Michael? 6'8" maybe?
6'6".
Yeah, he's 6'6".
Oh, I thought he was taller than that. Wow.
But he's so
lanky.
He's so long and lanky.
He's so long.
And he is a shooter. I got to watch him play against Texas and Dalen Swain for the inaugural Dickie V Classic last fall, and he looked so comfortable playing in Spectrum Center. I didn't think about Isaiah Evans going this high. I thought he was going to be a little later in the first round just because of how deep this class is.
Yeah.
But
Isaiah Evans to Charlotte, going to team back up with Knipple would be such a baller move. He could be off the bench, and he's a very selfless player as well. So I know he would not have any issue doing that. But this pick is in. This commissioner is at the podium, and we're going to find out who is teaming up with Knipple in this young Charlotte Hornets core. And it's not Isaiah Evans. It's actually Christian Anderson, the guy that Carson thought was not going to be it. He's 6'3", 178 pounds. He does bring about the 3-point shooting to the Charlotte Hornets, which is what they valued. LaMelo Ball and Knipple, two of the best 3-point shooters last year, but he's small. Another thing to know is he is pick 18. The Charlotte Hornets have to make a decision on Kobe White, who is beloved in North Carolina for his time as a Tar Heel. He got traded from Chicago to the Charlotte Hornets this year and really helped will them to different games. So, honestly, Carson, my question is, like, how does Christian Anderson fit? Because, I mean, if they are moving off Kobe White, then there's an opportunity. But if they keep Kobe, which is what a lot of fans want, and I believe the Hornets should make an effort to keep Kobe White, where does Christian Anderson find playing time? Because he's so small, you can't play him at the 2.
Yeah, Charlotte will burn if they get rid of Kobe White. I mean, that city will erupt. Kobe White is absolutely beloved. I am a Duke fan, and I love Kobe White. So, yeah. I mean, the entire state of North Carolina will be at Charlotte's throats if they trade away Kobe White. I don't know what they're doing here, because even if they do trade away Kobe White, like, they still have Zion James in the back. You know, they still have Trey Mann. They have Liam McNeely, who they got last year. Like, I just don't understand the thought process here, especially like when you have a Cameron Carr on the board who actually slots in to the maybe. I think he could slide into the starting lineup, but he could definitely be a 6-man off the bench who you don't have to like change your looks for. You know, you run the same offense, you just put him in instead of I don't know, Brandon Miller or whoever. So I don't know. I just don't love this. Like, I think that they had guys already. I like Liam McNeely, actually. I didn't like Zion James that much at Duke, but I like him here. So yeah, I love Kobe White. So I don't know. I don't know what their plan is. I don't see where he really fits in, but like you said, Shannon, he is a knockdown shooter. I think that, yeah, they're saying 42% from 3 on the broadcast right now. So, you know, I see why that's hard to pass up, but I don't know. I don't see the vision.
Shannon, do you see the vision when it comes to what the Hornets did with this Anderson pick?
The 3-point shooting is very alluring, but the size is something. He's not very explosive at the 2, which of course he's not going to play the 2 in the NBA. Mm-hmm. He's going to play the 1, but not very explosive, getting to the basket, not able to lure the defense when you come in to lure the defense in off of the catch and shoot or off of the dribble drive. You know, I like the shooting. That's the only thing that I do like about it. But everything else, he just doesn't check the boxes with me. So hopefully they know how to do those pick and pops. They know what they're doing when it comes down to the screen and roll. But other than that, no.
Okay, we have to cover some breaking news. The Grizzlies have made yet another trade. So where they traded with Oklahoma City and the Thunder picked Bennett Sturts, Memphis moved a pick back. Memphis then traded the Ibuka Okori pick at Stanford, 17. They've traded that to Detroit.
Distance.
Okori is going to be joining Cade Cunningham in Detroit. That is interesting. That is something to watch out for. But Memphis is now going to get 21 overall, which we have the Raptors, the Spurs, and then we'll have the Grizzlies owning Detroit's pick. And they get 3 second-round picks. Memphis said, let's rebuild our G League team. Let's go
No,
round.
they're kind of cooking here. I mean, I think
goodness.
they realized that they made the wrong pick, and they were like, maybe we should
Yep.
try this again." And so who knows? At 21, either Phylon Jr. or Cameron Carr will most likely be
Yep.
on the board still. So
Mm.
I think
Yep.
that this is once again probably a good trade, which is kind of crazy to say because this is just like almost silly, but it's kind of working out. So
I mean, I'm already shocked, but I would be very shocked if the Toronto Raptors did not acquire Phylon Jr. here.
yeah, me too.
If they don't, I don't believe the Spurs take him because they do have Castle, they do have Harper. De'Aaron Fox is still on the team. I know people are hating on him. He doesn't deserve that much hate for the NBA Finals. So Memphis back at 21 could redeem themselves and somehow get a lottery talent at pick 21. It's very possible.
Is something going on with Phylon though? Like, is something going on with him? I don't understand. And even in this mock draft that I've been looking at, I think they've got him going 21, which I just think is crazy. Like, is there something that I don't know that everybody else does?
I think he's going here anyways.
Oh yeah, this is it.
This is a perfect place for him to go to alongside Scotty Barnes. This is going to be very, very, they are going to, I'm actually scared of this team because they played Cleveland and Cleveland was not very good in the playoffs, but they played Cleveland really, really well. And Scotty Barnes emerged.
You got RJ Barrett, who loves to be in Canada. You got Brandon Ingram. But who is joining the Toronto Raptors officially? We have it for you here. It is not Phylon Jr. It is Alan Graves, the forward from Santa Clara.
What?
I'm not going to hate on Graves.
Another forward.
Dude, they've got like 20.
They've got
like 20 of them.
1,000. I got to look up this guy's measurables because I guarantee he's so lanky.
So
they got like 20 forwards on that team.
And he's
That's all they
slow.
have.
And he's slow.
yeah,
Another one.
Yeah,
I'm
he's 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan. They drafted another lanky forward. They are in love with lanky forwards. They've got Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, and Scotty Barnes, and more. They've got more too.
Well, I think that means they're going to be trading. They're going to be doing some moves here, probably, because this pick does not make sense.
And they love the shooting. They love the shooting as well because he shot like 41% from three as well too.
And that is good. They do need the shooting, but still, I think they don't need another forward. And it's like you can't move off of Brandon Ingram. That contract is too bad. Nobody wants him. He's a negative asset.
No.
So you can't move off of him. Look, I'm a Duke. You know I loved him at Carolina, or I loved him at Duke. What am I saying? I loved him at Duke. Carolina. But he hasn't been very good in the NBA, and the Toronto Raptors got way better when he got injured in that Cavs series. The Cavs were going to sweep them. And they were going to analytically sweep the Knicks, and they were probably going to analytically win in 6 against the Spurs. And then he got hurt, and they pushed it to 7. So yeah, kind of crazy pick.
So here's what I would say about this pick. 3-and-D guy. He can play both ways, but I don't think he plays both ways at a highly efficient level. And then also the fit and what Toronto needs is just not quite there because you have Barnes, you have Ingram, you have Barrett, you have Grady Dick, you have a lot of forwards on that team, and I don't entirely think. Man, they need a point guard. They need somebody to distribute the ball, and
off of
they do.
Him being 6th man of the year last year. I looked at that. My man had under 12 points a game. Yeah, he can stroke it from 3. Very nice. But I don't know. I mean, did we get a good serving size of this guy this year with him coming off the
Oh,
bench?
Canada.
Hey, Aaron's
I don't
back,
know.
guys.
Let's go.
Hey.
Aaron's back.
Jump
Hi,
in,
Aaron.
Jump in.
Yeah,
Come on.
Aaron's
My
back.
co-host, jump in. Here's
Let's
what this
go.
means, though. Here's what this means, though. Either Cameron Carr or Phylon Jr. will be on the board for Memphis at 21.
Dude, I'm starting to lose hope.
Is he gonna fall?
I don't know, but that makes me feel a lot better
might
at the
fall to
Knicks at
Atlanta.
24 here. Let's go
It might
Knicks.
fall to as low as Atlanta in 23.
If the Knicks got Cameron Carr, that would be
Yo.
really nice. That would be really, really nice.
Yo.
Who
Let's
else is
go.
on the board here?
So some of the best players available. Obviously, we've mentioned Phylon, Lopez, Sanat, Carr, Jane Quaintance from Kentucky, who has a lot of injury concerns. He's very talented. If he's healthy, he's great. But I mean, I needed to see a bigger sample size. He probably should stay at Kentucky another year, especially with this deep class. You got Isaiah Evans, we talked about at Duke, who's probably around the range where he can be selected. Koa Pete from Arizona doesn't really interest me. I think he's a little undersized. I don't know how he translates to the NBA. Visar from North Carolina. Malik Thomas from Arkansas, another John Calipari coach guy who shot over 40% from three. Alex Caravan from UConn. And then we're probably, at that point, we're probably getting into the second round. But the Spurs, after an NBA Finals appearance, they have the opportunity to take a player here. For me, I think it's Sanok. I think it's Sanok. They may go Lopez, but I think it's Sanok here. I think Sanok stays in Texas. Jason,
They'll go Lopez on this one. I think they got Lopez.
You think Lopez? Okay.
I think
Jason?
Yeah, I think so too. That sounds about right. Spurs, I mean, you talk about a team that, we talked about Oklahoma City. They really don't need anybody, but San Antonio Spurs, I mean, that team is stacked. Really what hurt them is, again, we talked about it before, is a veteran leadership. I mean, that young Spurs team essentially should be hoisting the trophy, but because of some mistakes and just, missing that veteran presence, but who else can they add onto this team unless they're going to trade De'Aaron Fox? If they're not going to sign Champagnie, you're going to let him go and get a bag somewhere else. So it'd be interesting to see. I know the pick is in here with San Antonio, but you talk about the rich get richer between the Spurs and Oklahoma City, two franchises that really know how to collect assets and manipulate things in the current NBA. GMs need to take notes on what these guys are doing.
And dedication from Aaron, by the way. Sorry about that, Shan. Just saying dedication from Aaron about being his car, light and steerable. Hey, just drive safe. Shan, what were you saying?
But they really going to move off. The Spurs are going to move off of De'Aaron Fox that quick?
I don't think so.
Yes.
If
yes.
he has,
I hope so.
Why not? I mean, you have
won the Knicks the championship.
Harper is your future. Fox is just eating up a lot of money. You sign Champagnie. You sign Champagnie, you trade Fox for some other assets, and you put Harper starting. Boom, done.
And I
agree.
Let's move on. I agree with that, but they paid a lot of money for De'Aaron Fox, so they're going to take a cap hit.
Here's the thing: what they made a mistake by paying him a lot of money, but why would you make another mistake by keeping him?
Yeah,
just eat it.
Whoa!
Listen,
no.
He was supposed to be the veteran of this team, and he made the rookie mistake. While there are 20 to 22 year olds, I think like 3, maybe 4 20 to 22 year olds on the floor, and the one vet made the rookie mistake that lost them the game.
Should have ran the ball out, and
I think he could have ran the ball out,
and
that lost them the entire championship. Like I think that it's just not right. I would get rid of him.
So I got to touch on Carson's out of pocket take. It's not out of pocket, but the Spurs pick has been selected. Jane Quintons, the forward from
Don't hate it.
Kentucky,
I actually like that.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
was on the Big 12
Surprise.
all defensive team, not last year, but the year before. Comes to Kentucky, dealt with injuries. I don't love this pick. I feel like injuries are going to hinder his career. And while he is super talented and he's not going to be expected to do everything right away on a very talented Spurs team, I feel like they could have added contributors elsewhere. And then, of course, by the way, the Pistons are on the clock, but this pick at 21 is going to Memphis until they trade away again for second-round picks. Shannon, are you okay with this pick from Kentucky?
I'm surprised by it, but I guess I'm okay with it because I don't know if they're going to go guard. Although we trashed De'Aaron Fox, some of us have right now, but this pick kind of surprised me. It could be either really, really good or really, really bad, depending on injuries. So I really don't know what to make out of this. This is a wait and see kind of look, I think.
I think that this is a good pick in that even if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter because you have Victor Wembanyama and Luke Cornett. Luke Cornett is a good backup center. I think their thought process was probably, he didn't have like Luke Cornett kind of didn't have the greatest postseason, so they're probably just, drafting another center and hoping that he can have playable minutes. But even if he can't, it's not the biggest deal because they were in the finals last year and they're only going to get better. So it's just a safe pick in that if it works, great. And if it doesn't, who cares?
So I get that. There's a lot of talent here. If you could take Quaintance in last year's draft or the year prior, sure. At pick 20, I wouldn't have had any issues with it. But again, you have Philon, you have Sanok, you have Evans, you have people who actually prove themselves. But Quaintance, yeah, I think injury liability. And Carson, just FYI, very out of pocket take with De'Aaron Fox. And why would you keep him? Everybody is trashing him right now because of the NBA Finals appearance against Jason's Knicks. What better way to elevate his trade stock and then start Dylan Harper is if you give him that first half of the season to redeem himself and Dylan Harper to continue learning the offense and learning the NBA speed. And Stephon Castle too. Like Castle was just as detrimental to the Spurs in that series and even in the conference finals. So, yeah, I'm not moving off Fox.
I think Castle had an okay. I think he was pretty okay in the finals, but I do agree with you that they should try to get his draft stock up and then trade him away at the deadline. I'm hoping that's what the Cavs do with James Harden because his draft stock is at an all-time low right now.
Now you definitely got to get him out of here. Mentioning James Harden
and what you should be happy. You should jump with joy at the sound of James Harden's name.
No.
Jason, he won you the conference finals.
God.
No, I'm hoping that because he's a great regular season player. He really is, and he's gonna have another good regular season next year. I'm hoping he has a great regular season, and we trade him at the deadline. That's what I'm praying for. Maybe the Kings will help us out.
Oh.
Yes, that's where that would be apropos, sending the beard to Sacramento. So please make that happen.
That's where he deserves to be.
Unbelievable. Look, I think this pick from the Spurs was they needed a big body filler. They don't have they have a lot of length, but they don't have a lot of girth on that team. They are full with a bunch of French fries. So I mean, they needed somebody big body. So if Quintons can stay healthy, they got somebody that can clog up the lane because, like, Jalen Brunson was running through the trees and making layups. So, I mean, you need somebody that can fill a void. And I think with you get someone that's that big in Quentin's, you're going to fill a void there, especially, late in games or when Wemby's not out there. You need somebody that's going to be a big body around the rim as opposed to, somebody out there just to kind of standing there.
So I just want to clarify, the Grizzlies are on the clock. This is from the Pistons. The Grizzlies trade away from the 16th and the 17th pick. That was Bent, Sturts, and Buko Okori for the 21st overall pick, which they have right now, and 5 future second-round picks.
They love giving second round picks around.
They're going to leverage those into a couple firsts down the road, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, that's exactly right, Carson. And OKC had those second round picks to give up. I don't know if Okori or Sturts, for that matter, was worth trading up for. But for some reason, they thought it was. But we have Memphis here at 21. If they keep this pick, then they have a great opportunity to still pair Phylon with Cameron Boozer. Could even go Cameron Carr or Isaiah Evans here. The pick is in, and we're going to announce it here live on Boom Broadcasting. And it's Kareem Lopez.
Okay. Not terrible.
I hate this pick.
What a surprise.
I hate this pick.
Memphis did all of that for Kareem Lopez.
Yeah, that is crazy.
You have to trade this pick again, right? I mean,
no.
You have to trade this pick again.
No.
Okay, but you draft Cameron Boozer at 3 overall, and you're like, okay, well, we're going to draft Kareem Lopez to play the exact same position when you need guards.
Yeah, this is
why.
That is true.
Boozer can't play the 3. I don't even think Lopez can play the 3.
He can play the 3. He can play the 3, but still, I think that there were definitely better things that they could have done. He can play the 3 though.
This was such a bad pick. It's just such a bad pick.
They should have took this in the beginning and just didn't do all these trades. I mean, I guess
then they wouldn't get the 5 second-round picks. I mean,
look, the NBA gives away second-round picks like nothing. Like I can go get an NBA second-round pick right now sitting here on my couch. I mean, they just give them away. Like I don't think they really truly have any value.
Yeah, but you have to think Memphis has a ton of first-round picks right now because of the Desmond Bane trade, and so I mean they're accumulating seconds. And they can either just draft a ton of players and figure out which ones hit, and they're all going to be cheap, or they can, like I was saying earlier, they can trade a couple and get a first rounder a couple years down the road.
Yeah, Shan, why are you so on board with Kareem Lopez going to Memphis here to team with Boozer?
No, I was just really surprised. I mean, on board, I don't know. I'm kind of the same boat that you are, MD. Like you got the same guy playing the same position, but also too, I'm kind of like with Carson on this one. They got picks to play with. Memphis does, but I felt like Detroit needed more guard play, more of a got to bring the ball up court. Because Cade is looking like he's going to be MVP in another couple of years with how well he plays. So you got to get the ball to your playmakers.
And Detroit Detroit was able to get Okori, so that's a good point.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, there you have it. We'll disregard that. But
this guy is a – sorry, go ahead, Jan. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But still, I don't get the pick.
This guy is a bad 3-point shooter. He shot 33% from 3 last year. The year before he shot 31% from 3. And over his career in New Zealand, he is shooting 32% from three. So I don't think that's the guy that you wanted to put beside Cameron Boozer. He's a mismatch attacker, but Cameron Boozer is a better mismatch attacker. So yeah, I don't understand that really.
And guys, Philly's on the clock right now, and they definitely don't need a guard with Maxey and VJ.
Right.
So I mean, where do they go with this?
Hold
pick?
up. So
Great.
Phylon's been seen smiling. I think he's going to Philly.
Oh wow!
Why?
He looks like he's crying.
Why? Wow.
He's
I mean,
crying.
why?
Are they getting rid of Maxey? Why would they?
Yeah, you got Maxey, you got VJ Edgecombe. Like you just literally had
small guards on small guards.
Nah, I don't like it.
So
don't do it.
So Tyrese Maxey would be a 2 here. Phylon would be a point.
Philadelphia.
Edgecombe would be. Oh, I guess Edgecombe would be off the bench.
Yeah, what?
Jason, are you trusting the process still after this?
I don't trust the process. Unless
they
they're going to trade
Chris Tanak.
Unless they're going to trade. Like, I don't understand. That's you got guard play. Like, you don't need
many of them.
Unless you're trading playoff P away, Paul George, you still got him on there. I mean, you still have guys that handle the rock. VJ Edgecombe is a stud. It's not like he's not good.
Right.
Yeah.
But I want to thank all these bad picks because my New York Knicks at 24, that pick just keeps getting better and better.
It really does.
Jeez, man. I mean, can we have somebody can we just let a stud fall in our lap, please? Returning NBA champions.
Does Philly get Phylon here? Is this really happening?
I can't believe it. Chris Tanak Jr. is on the board. Do they think Embiid is going to stay healthy? Are they okay rocking with Andre Drummond as their backup center?
Andre Drummond is 157 years old. He needs to retire.
It is 2026.
I mean,
I was balling out with him on 2K14.
Yo,
like,
he was terrible back then too.
Lord have mercy. What was he with Detroit? He was with the Pistons.
Yeah, he was with Detroit. Yeah.
I feel like Chris Tanak could have been a really good pick here for Philadelphia.
Would have been perfect.
And again, this pick isn't official, but we have a really bad gut feeling that
the pick
Phylon is the Philadelphia 76er.
That just doesn't make any sense.
Mm-mm.
He's a great player. I mean, they're stockpiling whatever, but I mean, how many? Unless they're doing some trades behind the scenes to get rid of some guys that they got, because they did trade away McCain to Oklahoma City. So I mean, 76ers.
What is taking the broadcast so long to announce this pick?
Because they're trying to get over the initial shock of why they're taking a 47th guard on their team.
Yeah.
Okay, the commissioner's coming out. This is more than likely.
He's crying and everything.
Jr.
It's probably because Adam Silver was just going like, "Are you guys sure about this? Are you sure?
Really,
I don't know, guys?
Really,
man, it's official. Really? Yeah, the guard from Alabama, LeBaron Phylon Jr. And one thing to note is I did have Phylon as my last lottery pick, going 13 to Miami in both my mock lotteries. My most recent one 24 hours ago, just a few hours before Miami traded this 13th overall selection to the Milwaukee Bucks. But instead, the Bucks end up getting Nate Ament, Braden Burries, and then a few selections later, Phylon drop into 22 overall.
Going to the sixth borough.
That is crazy.
Man.
Okay,
Phylon
but now the Atlanta Hawks could get Cameron Carr here. And if they get Cameron Carr and they pair him with Kingston Flemings, that they go from not being able to shoot the three whatsoever to having two incredible three-point shooters on their team. So this could be exciting for them.
76ers, what are you doing?
I don't know.
It's a good pick. He's the best, one of the best players still he's the best player on the board. I mean,
it's crazy because we were sitting here going, how is he not gone? Anybody needs to take him. And then the one team that took him were like, wrong.
No.
Hold on.
No.
Okay. So it's not that I hate this pick for Philadelphia. I hate that Philadelphia got Phylon Jr. When you're at 22 overall, I'm totally okay taking the best player available.
Yeah.
How he dropped to 22 overall is beyond me right now. But I did want to look at the 76ers depth chart right now. One that I can only project because you do have Tyrese Maxey, who I'm assuming would move to shooting guard. Phylon would be the point, so I would put Phylon, Maxey, Edgecombe at the 3 at 6'4"
You're
is
so
pretty
small.
small.
Yeah.
And then right now you have Paul George at the 4 and Joel Embiid at the 5. And again, we were talking about Andre Drummond. We were talking about really just nobody to step up for Joel Embiid. Embiid can't play 60 games a year anymore. And
No.
when he's off the court, that is very noticeable. Also, speaking of being very noticeable, is we're about to add a 5th man to the panel. And it is none other than Carson's co-host for Hoops and Helmets, somebody who's been very good for Boom Broadcasting. We have Aaron here on the show. He's probably shocked that he's made his way to the big screen, the big time, the Boom. Aaron, we welcome you in. I don't know how much you follow the NBA draft. Do you have any initial shocking thoughts? I mean, Phylon just went to Philadelphia.
Yeah, I've been at work all night. I have not been paying super close attention. I was really just checking to see who Charlotte was taking, if anybody was dropping. And yeah, as you saw in the group chat, I was a little devastated when the string of Michigan guys that I wanted were all gone. And I mean, Merez Johnson Jr. to Dallas makes too much sense with Dusty May now being the head coach there. Yaxel going to Golden State. I feel like that's also a good fit. If they want to get, Curry another ring, Yaxel is probably one of the better, pro-ready prospects on account of him being older. He's got a lot of experience, and he's a really good player as well.
Yeah. And by the way, the Atlanta Hawks pick is in as well, so we'll be getting that here. Pick number 23. Jason, I did just read the Philadelphia depth chart there. You're insinuating a trade. Would anybody take Paul George at this stage of his career? Because I don't
The
see...
Sacramento Kings.
Oh my gosh.
Brooklyn
Nets. Who did the Kings take earlier?
They took Darius Acuff. Actually a good pick. A good pick.
They're actual good pick. Well, look, I can see Paul George moving on. Look, I would not be surprised to see the 76ers start listening to phone calls for Joel Embiid. You look at a Los Angeles Lakers team that needs some depth under big man, and you pair him with the DeAndre Ayton, who's not very good, but he can at least play some games for you. So don't be surprised to see the 76ers really making some moves here this offseason. So that's why I'm curious about this last pick that they just had. But at the same time, I can see why they did it, because I think they wanted some depth on their team for when they start making these moves, because they got to do something. They got to do something different. I mean, Philadelphia is not trusting the process. There are teams in the East that have literally just got better than them within the last couple of days. So, Philadelphia, I think they're ramping up to really change things up here. So don't be surprised within the next week or so to see some big power moves here from the 76ers.
I actually think the opposite is more likely, Jason. I about the Lakers, I hadn't thought about that. And if there was one team that was going to take on Joel Embiid, it would be the Lakers. But maybe they're actually getting DeAndre Ayton in Philadelphia to back up Joel Embiid. and they're trading one of their guards over to LA.
No.
That is the only thing that could make that in my brain that is making this Phylon pick make sense. But I agree, I don't think it's very likely.
No, they're definitely going to get rid of Paul George. I think, for just money wise, they have Maxey is, I don't want to say top 5, but he's a top 10 player in the NBA right now. He's definitely the best player on that team. VJ Edgecombe showed out this year. He's going to be an absolute stud. So, I mean, they've got some pieces, but they need to kind of shed some money and get some players that are going to be available. And it looks like Atlanta's got their pick in here too. So let's see where Atlanta goes with this. They just keep getting better. Who out of the teams that got better today, Atlanta really is the one that I've been super impressed with. I think they are going to be a heck of a force here in the East.
So I apologize in advance. This is the first name that's going to be harder for me to pronounce. Zuby Ejiofor, the forward St. John's. Big East Player of the Year.
Wow.
I will say this.
I like that.
That's a good pick.
I like it.
I like it too because that's
it's another like Victor Wembanyama, but what he's going to be able to do is play the 3. I think he fits more the 4. But man, when Jalen Johnson's not on the floor, Ejiofor is going to be very vital to this Atlanta Hawks team. Shannon, you seem the most excited about this player coming from St. John's. What are your thoughts on his addition to the Atlanta Hawks?
Oh, he's a big kid. I like the size. I like his versatility because you could probably go in that 3, but I'd keep him more as a 4 because of the fact that he can clear the glass real well. And Atlanta needed to clear the glass. They were a squad that was getting out rebounded, trading away Porzingis later on. I like it. I think that pick is good for Atlanta. Up front, more grit, stronger on the defensive side of the ball. So I like it. Good move.
Carson, you're muted, but your opinion on this pick for Atlanta?
Yeah, I think I've gone through multiple feelings on it immediately. I liked it at first because I just like Zuby as a player, and then I didn't like it because I think that they need more offensive creation, especially on the perimeter. And then I liked it again because Tony Bradley was getting playoff minutes at center, and that is bad. That's very, very bad. So yeah, I think that this is a guy who's going to be able to play playoff minutes at center, but it's going to be a small ball look at center. He's 6'7", and he cannot play, like, he can't shoot. So
yeah,
he has to play center.
Yeah, so he is 6'9" and still very undersized for a center. Again, I would almost, I mean, 3 would be pushing it just with his skill set.
Yeah.
But a 4, if Jalen Johnson wants to play 3, and I don't know, I don't know how he fits. I don't know if he's going to be a role player, but they are prioritizing defense for sure. And Jason, your NBA Finals champion New York Knicks. Wow, I said that, and it's not 2K. Are up in the draft right now at pick number 24.
Wow.
I know you've mentioned Cameron Carr, but there's a couple other players that you
Senac Jr. I like him. We got some good guys to pick from here. I don't think they go guard, but a lot of it just really depends on what they're going to do with Alvarado. I mean, I love it. I mean, you talk about pairing and Mike Brown making a decision. Wait, we got a trade? Do I see that right?
To the Lakers. To the
Oh.
Lakers. It says
He got a
with the
trade?
Lakers.
Whoa.
The Lakers.
Okay,
Getting
the
in
Lakers.
mid-
The Lakers are pick 25, so it's probably just a straight swap. I'm assuming, plus
And
maybe like a second
round.
a second rounder or
Yeah,
something.
which
like
I
that.
don't like because unless
There's
Again,
a guy
I-
that the Lakers really wanted. There was a guy the Lakers really
Cameron
wanted.
Cameron
Whoa.
Carr probably.
No, they need a center, and there's a ton of
Yeah,
them
they do. They
on
need
the
front
board
court.
right now.
Vassar?
They got to get Sanak Jr.
I think it's Sanak.
Yes.
I don't know if Sanak's going to play. Honestly, he could probably play center.
On this team, he's going to.
Yeah.
On the Lakers,
Yeah,
he's
he got to
going
play. They need
Yeah,
front court
never mind.
presence
Yeah.
in LA.
I could see it
Big
being
time.
Vassar, maybe because the shooting alongside Luka. I could see it being Vassar, but I think that Sanak Jr. is a better pick. Maybe even Terrace Reed Jr. from UConn. I liked him a lot. But I think it's probably going to be Sanak here.
Yeah, we got to trade.
So Jason's going to have to wait one more pick. Oh wow. Lakers are on the clock, guys.
Which is surprising because again, with
It says pick is in though.
yeah, but if they're trading the pick,
Yep.
would it? I'm trying to read this here, and I don't see. I'm waiting for an update.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any
So
any
much
trade
like
details.
the Grizzlies and Thunder did, the Lakers and Knicks swap picks. We'll get more details of that as we go on with our coverage of Boom Broadcasting. But for now, Cameron Carr is a Los Angeles Laker.
Wow.
Whoa.
What a
That-
pick.
So this is huge for several reasons. One, we were talking about the Lakers' need for a big man. With Sanak there, they pass on him. The Lakers must have caught wind that Cameron Carr was on their radar. But Cameron Carr, very talented shooter, scorer, can shoot the three-point ball. He's a little streaky, but this is interesting because they have Luka. They also have Austin Reeves.
Yeah,
I don't-
Austin Reeves may be
I
gone.
wonder if the
Uh-oh.
Lakers are assuming that Reeves takes a big contract elsewhere, but the Los Angeles Lakers trade with the Knicks and get Cameron Carr. Aaron, I want to hear your thoughts. If you're good for it, what are your initial reaction to the Lakers going and snagging Cameron Carr? And I think you're muted, my friend.
Good now.
You're good now.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe he can't hear us now.
Well,
While Aaron is
Hello.
there you go.
He can't hear us, can he?
No,
don't think
he
he can.
probably can't. Wow. And Chris, Aaron looking like he's in a horror movie. You know, he's kind of sounding like it.
Looked like he in the back of a cop car. He got locked up. Got hemmed up real quick.
Can I tell?
And
Let me tell y'all what I think about this trade real quick.
Okay.
I think that the Knicks thought that the Lakers were going to take a big. I think that the Knicks wanted Cameron Carr, and they were like, hey, we can make this trade real quick, no problem. Get us a second round pick. And the Lakers took their guy because the Knicks don't really need a big, and a movement shooter like Cameron Carr could be really valuable. So I think that this just didn't go the way anybody wanted it to.
I don't think so because the Knicks don't really. Again, they're trying to sign players. They're watching that. I was expecting them to trade this pick, not so much as it is to trade it to the Knicks. It's not so much as a pick swap, because again, they with Alvarado being out there, are they going to sign him? Are they going to sign Shamet? Are they going to sign Mitchell?
Jason, you're going to be
Robinson?
mad. I'm so sorry, Jason. You're going to be mad. The Knicks just moved back a spot for cash.
Again?
With the Lakers, that's all it was with cash considerations.
25th in cash. Well, give me some cash. Send me a check. I'm good. Send me a check. Well,
Yeah,
no,
you should
I
get one
think.
too, right?
Well, I mean, look, I can see why they did that. I'm not hating it because there's still a lot of good players left on the board. So to me, that's not devastating.
I don't know. I don't know if there's any on the board of Cameron Carr's level at this point, especially not a shooter like that, except Isaiah Evans. But I think Cameron Carr's better.
Isaiah Evans too small. We can't get smaller.
Yep.
We're small enough.
True.
Yeah, that's interesting. Unless they're trying to trade this pick too. I mean, unless they're just because again, they're really wanting to stay away from that second apron. So I would not be surprised to see this pick traded also. And they don't need second round picks. They need to sign who they need to sign. They're trying to save money. So
Yes.
I can see why they got cash considerations.
Yeah, so Jason, with this,
Vassir, what's how you say his name? Henri Vassar, there, the center from UNC.
yeah,
You know,
Aaron
if
and
you're-
Shannon are big UNC fans.
So if you're not going to sign Mitchell Robinson, you go out and get a center.
Aaron,
Yeah.
do you think Visar's the pick here?
I mean, like Jason said, I feel like New York can't afford to get smaller. You add some size, and granted, Vassar's a little light at 7 foot, 225 pounds, but still a good player. He's
New
not.
York pizza will fatten him up. We're good.
Oh,
Heck yeah.
Give
I
him some
bet, yeah,
bagels, some bagels and
Dollar
lox.
slice.
Yeah. Oh man, dollars. So we get you like 5 slices. We're good.
Heck yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. The Knicks kind of played small ball sometimes. Karl-Anthony Towns could be a good 4 with Sanak at the 5.
I mean, but it worked. It worked for them during. I mean, when you had Jose Alvarado and Jalen Brunson on the court at the same time,
It's
that
so
worked
small,
for them.
though. It's so
It
small.
worked.
But
It
they really like to run. The Knicks really like to run,
And they run.
and they ran. If they get like Vassar here, he's not going to run with them.
Well, neither did Mitchell Robinson, and he's not a runner. But you get a rim protector. You get someone that can swat some shots. That's what you're
true.
looking for.
He actually did impress me with the way he was getting up and down the court. I was like, I did not know a big man can move. I didn't know the big man can move like that, but he was moving.
When you're not worried about offensive, when you're not using that energy for an offensive player,
Exactly.
you can save that for running and playing defense. So when you don't have to be the scorer or the offense is not running through you, you can conserve a lot of that energy.
Which
Yeah,
he wouldn't have to do in New York. I mean, you got Brunson, you got Bridges, you got
OG.
Anunoby. Like, yeah, he wouldn't have to do that there. But the
Pick is
Lakers
in.
pick is in, by the way. Or the Lakers pick, but the
It's going to
Knicks
New York.
is going to New York in this trade for cash considerations. I just want to update you guys. It is about 5 till 11 o'clock, and I am shocked that I am still going. But towards the end of this stream, we have some big news. Everybody you see on the screen right now is from Boom Broadcasting, and we have some major news to drop before we end the live stream tonight. So if you are on, stay tuned. And we're about to get the commissioner to walk up to the podium and announce who is going to be Jason's new favorite player. And it's so weird. They'll wear a Los Angeles Lakers hat if they're in attendance tonight, but they're going to the Knicks. It's such a dumb thing. I
don't know why they don't just switch it. Like give them the right hat. Like
Nate Ament wore a Miami Heat hat. He's never
I
gonna
know.
play in
Yeah.
He's never going to play in a Heat uniform.
There we go.
That it really is stupid.
All right, here it goes. The 25th pick is actually going to the New York Knicks. because the Lakers traded up for Cameron Carr. Sergio De Laria, the forward from
the
Spain.
Spaniard.
So high. He was
Spaniard.
he was projected to be like the last pick of the first round.
Okay, so here's one thing to note with Sergio coming in from Spain. First of all, he's going to be very fascinated by New York. He'll never want to leave. But he is dubbed as athletic and unselfish. Those are two things that are very helpful, especially the unselfish part. And he's a good shooter. Who knows what the Knicks are going to do in retaining this main core. But I also would not be surprised if the Knicks end up trading Sergio. Jason, as a Knicks fan, what's your initial reaction?
Yeah, I don't like the pick. I think didn't trade this pick away. I don't know. I'm not sold on him. We've gone to Europe before with previous draft picks, and it's never really worked out for us. Senac Jr., I would have thought would have been a better pick. Again, Visar, the center from UNC, I think would have been a better pick. I'm not crazy about it, but right now, New York's biggest concern is who they're keeping, who they're with their free agents. So this is just an interesting pick, and I would not be surprised to see it being traded at some point in time, just because they don't want to have to pay him.
I actually kind of like the pick, honestly. I kind of do. I mean, they kind of need a backup point guard. Like right now, you have Miles McBride, you have Jose Alvarado. Neither of those are really like ball handlers. So I don't really hate it. I mean, I like I said, I don't think that they had any real specific needs. So, just kind of replenishing the bench is never a bad idea. He's 6'5" barefoot. So, like you're not getting smaller. So I don't hate it.
But again, with best available, he was lower on the totem pole. We could have made a little bigger splash than that.
Definitely.
As the world champions, if it's geared towards, hey, we're looking to really keep our core and keep the other players that helped us get there, and this is end up going to be in kind of just some trade away fodder, then that's fine. But like I said, and I can't remember his name. I know in the draft we went to not that long ago. I know we went Porzingis. God, I can't remember his name that we got from France there the one year.
Frank Ntilikina.
Yeah, Ntilikina. Yep. And
way to remember that.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, shout out Aaron for Ntilikina.
But the Knicks do have a history of some decent overseas players. Like Jose Calderon, and he was good. He was good. Don't disrespect 2K14.
Galino Gallinari.
Say again?
Galino Gallinari.
Gallinari was very good. Yeah,
he's still in the league, isn't he? I think he's around here somewhere.
Yeah,
I think he's in Sacramento.
No, I think he's hanging out with the Pistons, isn't he? He's good.
He is retired.
Is he retired?
He has not played since 2024.
Yeah, see, if you're good, you would still be there. So
he was good. He was actually good when he got drafted, especially on 2K14
for 8 minutes, and then that was it. I don't like the pick, but you know what? It doesn't matter because the New York Knicks are NBA champions, and I'm gonna ride that all year long.
Until Miami wins.
Until
Miami wins.
Hey, 9th seed incoming, Michael.
Okay.
Miami will win in 3 years when they can find some other players to play with Giannis.
3 years is
Giannis still going to be kicking it in 3 years?
He's going to be what, 34 in 3 years?
I mean, that's still pretty good. I mean, the Heat made it with a 34-year-old Jimmy Buckets, so. I think they could do it with a 34-year-old Giannis.
Yeah, but Giannis's play style is really punishing. Like his play style is the equivalent of like a running back in the NFL. You know, like they don't last as long.
That's why he's hurt now, and he'll probably continue to. Well, but you know what? Miami got some healing waters. They did great with Shaq. You know, they got to he go down there, play a little shuffleboard. You know, he can kind of relax. Just right now, Miami needs to hit the South Beach YMCA to find some other players. I think they can do that. So they'll be all right with Giannis, but they are not competing for an NBA championship. I give them maybe 2 years, depending on what Pat Riley and what moves they can make.
Hey, I think Pat Riley might be at the end of it, at the end of his rope in terms of basketball operations.
He's 80.
Yeah, he might be in the end of his rope in terms of his life.
Damn, don't kill off Pat Riley. What are you doing?
I'm not trying to jinx him, but
he wanted to win an NBA championship. That's what Giannis is going to do for the Heat. So
no,
let's give the Godfather some respect, okay?
Nuggets are up.
This is actually a big pick. This is a big pick. Yeah, there are a lot of good centers on the board.
You're wasting Joker's prime. So the Nuggets need to do something here, man, because they are wasting one of the greatest players that we've probably seen in this generation.
I think it's going to be Terrence Reed Jr. here.
I think it's Isaiah Evans.
No way.
I
actually do love that fit with Jokic.
I think it's Isaiah.
Yeah.
I think he's going to fall to 29 to the Cavs.
No, he's not. That's wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Isaiah Evans is going off the board tonight. It's either Denver here, then we have Boston following that, the Brooklyn Nets, the Cavaliers at 29. I know Carson's super hopeful for that. Or the Dallas Mavs. Pairing Evans back with Cooper Flag would be
cool. That would be really cool. Something. But if he's still on the board, if Denver doesn't take him, Boston probably will. That's like their whole MO is just shoot as many threes as possible.
Especially with the rumor that Jaylen Brown might be leaving. Something to keep an eye out. But the commissioner's up for the Denver Nuggets selection. At pick 26, Carson got it right. Terrence Reed Jr. Since Carson got it right, I'll let him take the floor first.
Yeah, well, he's just a winner. He was at UConn, and he just won. That's what UConn did. And this is exactly what the Nuggets have been needing literally since Jokic joined the team and became the player that he is a backup center. They got Valanciunas last year, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, finally a backup center!" But it was Valanciunas, so they needed another. And I'm glad they got one. Terrence Reed Jr. is very good, athletic, and all of those UConn guys, everybody that plays under Dan Hurley has that drive and has that motor, and Denver severely needs that as well because they just gave up last postseason, even against the injured Timberwolves team. So this is what they need is a guy with motor, with size, with athleticism. So yeah, I think it's a great pick.
Yeah. Oh, and never mind. The Spurs are getting Terrence Reed Jr. In a trade.
Great pick.
The Nuggets are getting.
That was short-lived.
The Nuggets are getting the 35th overall pick and 2 future second-round picks. So,
wow.
Terrence Reed is not a Nugget. Terrence Reed is a Spur.
He's very good on the Spurs too, but I mean that would have been absolutely perfect for Denver. What are they doing?
You said Denver's getting 35.
Denver's getting 35.
Spurs now have 2 top 20 players. They just picked up 2.
Yeah, I guess they're lucky. The Nuggets are lucky that this draft is so deep because even at 35, there are going to be some decent players available. But I mean, fell right into your hands. This was really, really nice. Like this was going to be perfect.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Nuggets need players. The only way this makes any sense is it doesn't make any sense unless you were trading to get a player, not a 35th pick.
Yeah, if maybe they think that there's really going to be somebody there that they really, really like maybe they go for, I don't even know who's going to be there. There's no way Sinak is still there. Like if they're going for maybe Koa Pete, he's not going to be there. Vasar is not going to be there anymore. Like,
No, that's why this is very.
are they maybe going to try to push for like Alex Caravan or like Baba Miller? I don't know. This doesn't make any sense to me either, Jason.
Yeah, you're wasting Nikola Jokic away. You needed some exuberance and some youth on that team. Money Murray is just he's too sporadic. Russell Westbrook is 157 years old. You need to do something.
I think he actually is somewhere else now.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I thought Russ was still there.
No, I was looking at rosters earlier and I saw Russ's face somewhere that I didn't expect to see him.
What, Sacramento?
His face is everywhere.
That's true. With Sacramento, maybe. Actually, was it?
Yeah, hold on.
Yes, it was.
Sacramento.
He's with Sacramento.
Sacramento.
Yeah, Sacramento.
I thought he was on the Nuggets. NBA players go to die.
Seriously.
Oh,
okay,
God.
what about Boston though? Because Boston is on the fringes of an NBA championship, and Jaylen Brown is on the verge of leaving. So
Sinak Jr.
Who do you think they're gonna get?
They're gonna get Sinak Jr.
They need a big. They need a big.
Yeah. Sinak Jr.
But they need to move Jaylen Brown now. This needs to be. I think he's going to be toxic if they do not get rid of him soon.
I don't think it'll be on. I don't think it'll be during the draft. I think that it'll be sometime over the summer.
It'll be. I would say July, 4th of July kind of deal first. Around that once the new league starts.
Right.
But they got to do it soon.
Yeah. Well, they're showing.
He's just going to keep talking.
I think it is Sinak. Look, they're showing him. Looks like he's getting a little emotional.
He's going to a good team. He gets to go to play with a stud and Jason Tatum and play with the coach of the year and Joe Mazzulla on Cincinnati, which is interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you are, it feels weird, but because this draft is so deep, like the players who are still being drafted are still very, very good. So it's very unique in that, like, we're getting players that are drafted 27th, 28th, 29th, and are going to be able to come in and make an immediate impact. So you don't, and these are good teams, right? Because they're drafting 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th. These are all good teams, and they're still getting good players. So
see, that's why I would have liked it
in that way.
And Carson, I hate to cut you off here, but Chris Sinak is the selection for Boston.
That's why I wanted the Knicks to take him, because I did not want him to go to Boston.
Because it's tough.
I mean, it's a good pick for the Celtics. That's exactly what they needed. So
I mean, you lose out on Giannis. You keep Jaylen Brown for now, and Chris Sinak is a Celtic. The Timberwolves are technically on the clock, but this was traded for Julius Randle again. The Nets got Julius Randle and moved up in the draft just to give up their second round pick. You can't make this stuff up.
I love the Nets. They picked 5. They picked
can't make this up.
Was it 3 or 4 guards who can't shoot? First round pick, Ben Seraph and Dimon and Traore, and then 2 other players who are not good. So
I really hope Isaiah Evans doesn't go here
to Minnesota.
I think he does. Right now, Anthony Edwards can't be the ball guy. He's got to play off the ball.
I don't know.
I think they need a point guard.
Well, Isaiah Evans, I don't know. I think Isaiah Evans isn't the best ball handler. He's more of a movement shooter. So maybe they go like, I'm trying to see what point guards are even on the board. Maybe Malik Thomas. That's who I would go. Is Malik Thomas. He's good too from Arkansas. Yeah, because they need somebody alongside Ant to where, because also Ant would really benefit from not being on ball all the time. That way, like, he catches on the wing and he can get that burst step. It's a lot easier to get that burst off of a catch than it is off of a dribble. So I think that this could be very good.
We got a trade. Yep. Yeah, it is in the Nets. What?
Kingston Flemings for Chris Sack Jr.? Oh,
no. That's just a Houston pick.
Okay. I was like,
what?
I
was like, no.
Okay.
But I think the Nets get this 28th pick.
No. Nets gave them this 28th. No. You're right. I'm sorry. The Nets do get this because
so this is the Nets pick. Yeah, because of that. Because of the trade, the Julius Randle trade. So yes, this is Brooklyn. Is Brooklyn in the house? So Brooklyn.
Wait.
They need a lot in Brooklyn.
Everything.
So yeah.
All of it.
So yeah. So then the Porter. So yeah, they got the 33 overall. Bulls get Nick Claxton because it's a 3-team trade. So yeah, the Nets get Julius Randle and that just 28th overall. So. I can see them going Isaiah Evans. They could go with a center and Vassar. And they could go outside of this. There's still some pretty good.
They could get
players
absolutely anything right now. Literally absolutely anything, and it would help. I don't think they'll get Isaiah.
They did last year, though. Like, it's Brooklyn. Do we know the pick that they're going to make is actually going to help them?
Nope.
No.
It won't. It won't.
It's Brooklyn.
It never does.
It's going to help them whoever they trade with because, like everything Brooklyn does, they are Sacramento East. They get players, they develop them a little bit, and then they trade them away. So they are Sacramento East essentially. So Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
And in Brooklyn, you're welcome for 5 first-round picks for Bridges, which I'll take a championship any day. But this is going to be interesting to see where the Nets go with this pick because, they do need a little bit of everything.
Yeah, they do. I'm looking at the draft, like just a mock draft right now, and it is actually crazy how deep this draft is. Like, you still have players like Jaden Bradley, like Jacoby Gillespie, Emmanuel Sharp, Alex Caravan. Like, there are still so many good Malik Brown, so many good players on the board that are genuinely going to come in and be impactful immediately. This is insane.
Right.
We haven't really like this is rare in terms of NBA drafts. Like genuinely, this does not happen very often. So, but the Minnesota Timberwolves, which are actually the Brooklyn Nets, used up all of their time, which we also haven't seen very much in this draft. Players have been going pretty quick, so seems like they couldn't pick either, probably because they just have so many needs and they're just trying to decide which one is best. But I bet it's like Henry Vassar here or something.
Wouldn't doubt it. They were probably looking to also unload it, when you start getting this late into the draft.
Yeah, true.
Again, do you want to spend the money on this development? Because development is not only just, going towards, that apron and going towards your, the money you're spending, but development is a lot of other costs. Is it worth developing this player, or do we just trade that pick and get something else or move on to next year and find somebody else? So a lot of decisions that have to be made. But yeah, the pick is in. So let's figure out who is going to Brooklyn, and will be the next New York Knick.
Yeah, this really could be anybody. There's no use even trying to predict.
No, Vassar, I like that because again, you can't teach height. That's one of the things. No matter if you're slow or not, you know that you can bulk up, but you can't teach 7 foot. That's still hard. But there's still some good players in there. Let's see who we got coming to the Nets.
Joshua Jefferson.
Interesting.
Yeah, you see, I was not expecting that either, but
no.
Yeah.
You just you can't predict with the Nets in general, but when it's a team that just needs absolutely everything, you really can't predict.
What do you think, Shannon? What do you like? Do you like that pick for the Nets?
It was very surprising. Jefferson, I saw early second round. Good.
Yeah, he all the way up in the nosebleeds. He got come. We got look how far he's got to walk.
Yeah, man.
Damn. I mean, you couldn't get him a front row.
I think. Well, I think
surprising the pick was.
Exactly. He was mocked. Most of the mocks I saw had him going like 31 to 34. So yeah, he probably was not planning on being picked tonight.
Got his steps in.
Seriously.
He was like, "I'll see you tomorrow."
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope. You going tonight? Well, hey, congratulations. But we'll see. Again, it's the Brooklyn Nets. Just one of those franchises that just can't get it right. Needs to move back to New Jersey. They just need so many pieces. But they need to be in continuity. If you're going to draft somebody, stick with them. If you're going to get somebody, stick with them. Stop this trading players away every couple of minutes. I mean, I like the fact that they tried to, do some moves, getting Julius Randle to come back to New York. So, I mean, I kind of like that. Julius Randle actually has been playing well when he's with Minnesota. But Brooklyn, let's see what they do. They've made so many mistakes with some of the moves that they've made over the years. Between Kyrie Irving was a hot mess. That was terrible. Who else there? My brain is not working here.
Well, I mean, they were about Durant. They were about to win the championship before Kevin Durant had the biggest feet on earth. Right? Like he was one step away from beating the Bucks, who ended up winning the championship. So I don't think that was a total failure, but it was like a one-hit wonder that just didn't work.
Yeah, and now your team, Mr. Carson, is on the clock.
Wearing it's not a Cavs shirt, but it's a Cavs colored shirt.
So where do you want to see your Cleveland Cavaliers analytically go on this pick?
Well, we got to see where they analytically go, and then we can find out where they're actually going to go. But I know I've been saying that I want them to go with Isaiah Evans. I actually want them to go Koa Pete here.
Really?
Koa Pete.
What are you talking about?
Koa Pete. Don't act like that. Koa Pete is a very good player. He was in contention for National Player of the Year last year.
Stay off the weed.
And what the Cavs need.
I was about to say.
What the Cavs need more than anything else, they don't need a shooter. They don't need a big. They don't need a guard. What they need more than anything else is a mismatch attacker. Koa Pete is a massive man. He's very, very strong. He gets downhill, and he can shoot the three a little bit. He slots in very, very well to what we need. You put him. Hopefully we get rid of James Harden. You can go.
No, that's not happening. He's going to exercise that player option because no one is going to give him $45 million or whatever.
Hold up.
Why do you think this is such a bad pick?
Okay, I have to come fix this. First of all, Jason, James Harden will be a Cavalier until about January when he's like, the ownerships are liars. I'm never playing for this organization again. And he forces himself out to another situation. Carson.
You're giving him till February? I think that's
Right.
November.
Right. Carson, I love Isaiah Evans. I think he's taken either here or Dallas. More likely Dallas at this point. But I don't like Koa Pete. He is massive, but not vertically. He's 6'8", plays like a center. I think he's undersized for. I really do not see Koa Pete transferring well to the NBA. Like you'd be better off with Visar from UNC.
Well, he's not
No
a
offense,
center.
Aaron.
He's not a center. He is a small forward, power forward hybrid, more of a power forward, a little undersized for a power forward, but he plays like a power forward. He initiates from the perimeter and he gets downhill, and he's very big and he's very strong, and he's got a good enough handle that it works, So, yeah, he's not the most vertical athlete, but we have Evan Mobley, and we also have Jared Allen, two great vertical spacers. So, Aaron Schneider, what can I help you with?
I just wanted to throw out a
Get
name
him, Aaron.
of
Get
another
him.
undersized forward who was a really good contributor to some great teams. Draymond Green, not that tall, like similar build. I'm just saying.
He just compared
It's facts.
him to.
I'm not saying he's going to
Draymond
be the same player. I'm
Draymond
just
Green.
saying we can't always use size as a detrimental thing. There are undersized players who have been great.
Yeah, it's all about play style, and I think Koa Pete has a play style to where he can be undersized and still succeed.
Hey,
Muggsy Bogues was undersized too.
Just FYI, the Cavaliers do not own this pick anymore.
Uh-oh.
To the Kings. Come on, James Harden. Get out of here. James Harden,
The
please.
Kings.
I said it earlier in the show. Please get James Harden out of my face.
Oh, that'd be great.
He's not.
It's not
going
gonna
there.
It's not gonna happen. The 29th pick, it's not gonna happen. But imagine.
The Kings are on the clock.
Wow.
Adam Silver is going up to the podium. The Kings trade up to pair Darius Acuff with somebody. So we're going to see who this is.
Wow.
Okay.
The Kings.
Cavs get the 34th pick and a future second round pick. Absolutely nothing. Who cares? Why?
Wah, wah.
Saying really love what was there at 29.
No.
Alex Caravan, forward from UConn, going to Sacramento, and the Kings are thinking about like moving off Sabonis. But Caravan coming in at 6'7" almost. I don't know if this changes. I think he plays more the 3. Shannon, the Kings swooped in and ruined Carson's night. He does not get a first round pick, just like me. Shannon,
it ruined my night, but Kenny Atkinson did not deserve a first round pick.
Oh,
no.
Wait,
dang.
analytically, do they still have a first round pick?
Analytically, we got Cameron Boozer joining up
Lord
with Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley, and I could not be more analytically excited.
Okay, so I do want Shannon's thoughts on the Kings come in, swooping in, pairing with Darius Acuff. I do want to say we are in our last pick of the NBA draft. Once we get the draft pick and once we kind of clear the smoke from there, we do have some big news for Boom Broadcasting. So thank you guys on the East Coast for tuning in with us late. Thank you for everybody on the panel who's also on the East Coast. We're up late, but it's for a very good reason, for some big Boom Broadcasting news. Shannon, how do you feel about the Kings bringing Alex Caravan to the team?
Looks like Sabonis could be on the move. Probably. Also, too, got to rebuild. That's what the Sacramento Kings are looking to do. I think they've got their guy in the first round. I think they got their guy that they're going to build around. So get some guys around them. Let's build it. If you build it, it'll come.
Maybe, but maybe not if you're the Sacramento Kings.
Exactly. So, there's always an exception to that. And the Sacramento Kings are definitely that.
Yeah,
The Sacramento Queens.
The Sacramento Queens.
The Sacramento Queens.
I don't think that this move really indicates that Sabonis is gone, though. I think that Sabonis and Adam Caravan, they're both like high field players. Maybe they're going to try to run a little bit of inverted pick and roll or something like that. I can kind of see their vision because Sabonis is such a good playmaking hub as a center. So, I can kind of see the vision, but I can't really because, I'm not a Sacramento King.
Does anybody want to be a Sacramento King? By the way, we have Adam Silver up at the podium for the final time tonight. This draft took 3.5 hours, just FYI. And here he goes. Koa Pete, Carson's favorite player in the NBA draft. Koa Pete goes
playing with Cooper Flag.
Yeah, he doesn't. Not even a really good fit beside Cooper Flag. What are they doing? Come on, Cavs.
Carson, you and I are the big Duke fans here. But you like Koa Pete. But I feel like Isaiah Evans did fit this team a little bit better.
I think so too, definitely. I mean, the way, first off, it would have been just good, like already established experience and synergy between him and Cooper Flag. But also Cooper Flag is going to be the focal point of this team. So, and who did they draft earlier in the draft? I'm trying to remember. It was...
They went Morez Johnson.
Oh, so there's still... See, this doesn't make any sense because at least Isaiah Evans would have maybe taken a little bit of the ball handling off of Cooper Flag. He's not a great ball handler by any means, but he could have taken a little bit off. They are hoping to have Kyrie back, but yeah, it just would have been so much better having Isaiah Evans on a wing. Like you get a Kyrie Irving, Cooper Flag pick and roll. You hit Cooper Flag at the free throw line, free throw line extended, and he turns and finds Isaiah Evans in the corner. It's just that is offense right there. That makes sense. And instead you have like two guys who are really good in transition, but Koa Pete's not a great shooter and Cooper Flag is a good, not a great shooter. So I don't know. It just feels like they almost fill a little bit of the same role, but Cooper Flag does everything better. So I don't understand. I don't really understand what the thought process was there.
It was the last pick in the first night. This is a get it over with kind of deal. That's what it sounded like.
I honestly think it was. I think that they
were like, God, just throw the dart, please, and just let's go.
Yeah.
But real quick, guys, first round in the books. Start with Aaron and work our way around. Who won the draft?
Who won the draft?
Ooh. Quick. Who won?
Quick. That's a great question, Jason. That was the wrong person to go to. I mean, basic answer is the Wizards. You get the best player in the draft, and you're in a terrible spot, and the Bonds is hopefully going to be a cornerstone for Washington.
Shannon. You can say your Bulls. They're fine.
I wish that the second pick would have been a little different, but I will go with the Bulls. I was going to say the Memphis Grizzlies, but no. But I'm going to go with my Chicago Bulls. I think they did a great job.
Who you got, Carson? Winner of the draft.
This is so hard. Maybe I want to say Atlanta, maybe the Bulls. I do like Caleb Wilson. Dylan Swain is I don't know. Maybe the No, not the Hornets.
Yes.
Say it.
Almost. I guess I'm just gonna go with the Bulls. I mean, I don't think that there were any massive winners here.
I'm gonna go Yaxel Lenenborg, I think, with Golden State. I think Golden State hit a home run with him falling top 10 player. going to that 11th spot. I mean, I do like what Atlanta did too. I like what the Sacramento Kings did too in taking 8 cuffs. So, but I'm going to go with Golden State. I think they won the draft with one of the better players in that spot. And let's finish it up, Mr. Michael Davis. Take us home, baby.
Man, this is tough. Yeah, I don't really know who necessarily won the NBA draft. I love what the Bulls did. I love what the Kings did. I try always to not take a team that had multiple picks. But I can't help but say that Milwaukee,
I was just looking at Milwaukee.
I mean, more than likely won the draft. I mean, you lose Giannis Antetokounmpo. You trade a bunch of these stuff to Miami. You get Hero, you get Jaquez, you get Ware, you got Jonas, but then you add 2 of the top lottery picks and Nate Ament and Braden Burries. So you literally like gave up Giannis, but now you have a starting 5 with some key rotational pieces. So, and Chris is like, so far the consensus is nobody won because we all said separate things. Real quick, I want to throw this comment back up here for Chris. And I want to say thank you guys for tuning in to our NBA draft coverage. Thank you, Jason, for helping out. Thank you, Carson, Shannon, Aaron, for all of you guys hopping on to do this live coverage. Aaron, you know, if your live coverage with the NFL draft wasn't a huge success, we probably are like iffy about doing tonight, but we know everybody else enjoys it. We enjoy it. We enjoy making content for you guys. And Chris also, we appreciate you being in the comments as well as several others too. I know Aaron was in there, Sean, Cody. Yeah, there are a lot of people in the comments. There are a lot of people watching tonight, and a lot of the content creators. We love supporting each other. We love supporting one another. And I did promise tonight that there would be some big news for Boom Broadcasting. And so if you guys are unaware, a week from tomorrow, which is only like 27 minutes away, we will be celebrating 2 years of Boom. And we have put our heads together to figure out what will year 3 look like. And one of the biggest suggestions, recommendations is giving you guys another way to consume our content. And so, first big announcement, starting on July 1st, Boom Broadcasting is going to be opening up on Spotify. Boom Broadcasting is going to be bringing you Spotify content. What does that look like? It means that some of your favorite video podcasts on YouTube will be available through Spotify. But this also means that we are going to be bringing you video exclusive content on our YouTube channel, as well as audio exclusive content on our Spotify channel. And what that means is we are going to be bringing you new podcasts. We have a full week of announcements for you guys when it comes to all the podcasts we are going to be adding starting in July. But I have a second announcement. We launch hard on July 1st with Spotify, but because of recent events, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek. Everybody wants to know my thoughts on the Miami Heat trading for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And I am here to announce that one of our new podcasts with team-specific content is going to be Heat Talk. It's going to be hosted by myself, a Miami Heat fan, and our very first episode was going to be a week from tomorrow, but instead, you can enjoy the very first episode of Heat Talk tomorrow as we dive fully into the Giannis Antetokounmpo trade from the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm going to talk the trade. I'm going to talk about the current Heat roster and how he fits. I'm going to talk about all the pieces we lost because they were very near and dear to my heart. But we have our full launch next Wednesday, July 1st, for our 2-year anniversary. And I just want to go ahead and preface, I'm not the only one who's bringing you an additional show to Boom Broadcasting. Who can that be? I don't know. Guess what? You're going to have to follow us on our socials to find out. And you're going to have to subscribe to the Boom Broadcasting YouTube channel. And oh, yeah, I guess you're going to have to subscribe to the Spotify pages Boom Broadcasting will be producing. This expansion could not be possible without Jason, Carson, Shannon, Aaron, Cody, Chris, Sean. I mean, it's amazing what everybody's been doing for this, and very, very thankful for the opportunity. Boom is booming into Spotify for year 3, everyone.
Love it. 3 from deep.
Oh yeah, 3 from deep. I mean, it's fitting. It's fitting. So
much love.
So
awesome.
much love to you guys. I know it is closing in on midnight. So yeah, let's get this Heat Talk episode. The link will be up on our socials tomorrow for the whole Giannis breakdown, and very thankful for the people who have been able to help bring this together. And who knows, you may get a very interesting intro to tomorrow's Heat Talk episode. But for Michael Davis, for Aaron Schneider from the Gridiron Address, from Shane Smith from Quick Hits, from Carson from Hoops and Helmets, from Jason from 3 from Deep, and myself, Michael Davis, this has been our NBA draft cover special. We will see you back here for some YouTube content, but as well, we will see you for the first time tomorrow on Spotify with a full launch on July 1st for our birthday. Everyone, have sweet dreams, and yeah, let's get excited.